Hello everybody, how are we doing today? Welcome to the wonderful world of the final day of the WardiTV October event. Hello everyone, how are we doing? Welcome to the stream, good to see you all. Kicking this off in a couple of moments with Oliveira versus Showtime. We'll get this ready to rumble in just a few. Thank you so much for joining us early and being here ready for some games. I think it's going to be a pretty fun day. These matches are pretty fun. Oliveira versus Showtime will be followed up by the matchup of Shin versus Clem, both best of fives and the best of 7 finals. I'm kind of just low-key hoping that we don't have a a TVT final, but I guess we'll see. Alright, we'll take a couple moments, guys. We'll get this ready to go into Showtime versus Oliveira. PVT best of 5, the videos are on the way. Dynasty and post-youth get video to begin with, so first couple of videos already made. Next video's coming up in a few seconds. We get this ready to go. Hello everyone, yeah, thanks for joining us here. Oh, don't have the bracket link posted in YouTube chat, but that's okay, easily fixed. Alright, Crimson Corn getting videoed as well, so we are going to make progress in terms of getting some maps videoed up and ready to go. Over the next few moments, get this all set. See what's going to happen. Ghost River gonna be our first map. Beautiful. Let's do it. Alright, get this hosted up, guys. Couple moments to get underway. Perfect. Alright guys, again everyone in lobby. I'm going to be off and away here in just a second, thanks to your little bit of patience to start things off. As we get into Oliveira versus Showtime. Oliveira Showtime first, guys. I figured Clem is the more wanted to be seen series, so we'll build up some viewership with Oliveira Showtime, then Clem versus Shin. Then we'll go into the grand finals just like that. Just kind of makes sense to obviously try and make the most of it. Everyone's joining us in the lobby, so we really shouldn't be too long until we kick this off as well. Alright, Oliveira's here. Showtime's here. Man, we have so many casters today. I've lost Oliveira even. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're back to 10 casters like we were yesterday. Perfect. Alright, double checking the players are ready, and we are good to go. Let's turn that music off. I'm not feeling it today. Let's cast some StarCraft 2. Let's get into some games. Let's see what happens. Go, ready. Gets cold. And the countdown will begin. So we kick this off. We get this going. Let's see what is about to happen. As we jump into Ghost River. First match of the day, guys. First map of the day. Welcome to the WardiTV October semi-finals and finals day. 2 best of 5s and a best of 7 today. Hoping for some great games. Let's see how it goes. Super excited to see what happens. Super excited to see how it all turns out as we get this Ghost River map up and running here in the next couple of moments and get this ready to begin. And now we're stuck on the loading screen. Love it! Alright, great start of the day. Great start of the day. It's just going to take a couple moments here, guys. Get this sorted out. Obviously, a little bit of lag on one of the guys. Someone's maybe disconnecting early. So be it. That's okay. Well, this is not us, so we'll just give it a moment or two. Tell you what, I'll bring you back to me for a couple of seconds, just so then I might actually remember when if I YouTube VOD this one to actually not include that part. The part where we wait on the loading screen for a couple of minutes. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone is feeling great. Just got on new patch, new maps. Nope. We're not going to change onto a first look PTR mid tournament. This has been a tournament that's been going on for 3 weeks already, so we're not going to change onto a PTR that's going to just change probably before I even get to run a tournament next week. So yeah, we will run a patch tournament next week, guys. We'll run a patch tournament next week, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So we're going to be doing that. I just, yeah, have to get to it. Oh, apparently we load in suddenly. Is everyone here and ready to play? Yes, we are. Perfect. So shout out to the players ready to play at a moment's notice, apparently. As we kick off into this one in the top right, our blue Terran player. This is going to be Oliveira. Former world champion. He came first in his group and came out ahead of Gumiho just about in that TVT yesterday. That was our opening match yesterday and was quite the epic to start the day, and it really set the tone for a day of pretty epic games. If you missed yesterday's matches, I can only recommend you go and watch them. It was genuinely a very, very fun day. Games like all the series were good, even towards the end it got a little bit more one-sided. We just had a lot of good games. So I highly recommend going to check that out. As I do have in the top left of his side, the Protoss player. He was the culprit of the most one-sided series of the day. It wasn't short, it was still macro-y, but just looked pretty good throughout. There was a couple of times, though, where he was a little bit flimsy against some of the pressure that was coming in, some of the aggression that his opponent was throwing at him, and I worry a little bit because Oliveira can be very good at that stuff, too. So Showtime in the top left. Try and give us a Protoss representative in the grand finals of WardiTV October. Side before coming down, probe coming up. And we get ourselves settled in for a few moments, get everything on the go. Second gas going to drop down as well. Just realized I put the health bars off. And let's find ourselves a beautiful Inu to obs up some of this action for us as we get this underway. And see how it's all going to turn out. So Factory's on the way up, Reaper's on the way through. Getting this on the go. Reaper continue to move around on that right-hand side as well. And again, Factory continuing up here, CV on the way out. Just bringing all of this into play for the moment as we figure out how things are going to look for the foreseeable future. Reaper hops up to the high ground, is going to be moving into the main mineral line. A couple of those probes already going to be taking some shots, and the Stalker coming back over. Fire up some hits as well. So Reaper taking some shots. Robo Facility is coming through. Get all of that up and running here. The Warp Gate is coming about. A couple extra probes coming in. And a lot of production just coming by for the moment. CT on the way up as well. Starport also being brought on through. Continue to get this on the go. It's going to be having two Reapers and a Hellion continue to press forward. The Adepts taking a couple of shots as well. See, with these couple of units early, you can absolutely get in there and try and deal some damage. So that's kind of what we're just seeing, and we are going to get rid of 3 probes. So pretty nice with the Reaper in the main base as well. The Stalkers will be hot on the tail of that Reaper, but not a bad start at all. A couple of Stalkers still coming over. Reaper will take a few more shots. Again, the extra cracks on the way down. Just going to get that settled in as well. continue to bring that through. Banshee the siege tank coming up. The cloaking on the way also. Continue to get that up and rumbling as we just have ourselves. The barracks count going to be looking very good very soon. It's going to be 3 racks total. Cloak Banshee's on the way up. And tank is on the way out as well. Model continues to come about for a couple of moments. So we're just chilling out over there, just hanging around again. Tank and a few Marines continue to come up. We've seen our observer chilling. Twilight Council coming in. So we are going to see Showtime obviously getting into his charge play. That's going to be his opening upgrade here as well. So getting himself into charge, good position. Obviously, I think the main thing for Showtime throughout this series has got to be controlling some of that Oliveira aggression and trying to control some of that Oliveira multitasking. Tank's going to unsiege, just going to reposition elsewhere a little bit, perhaps. Obviously, maybe even time to start pushing out as Oliveira. This first siege tank push, always such a powerful moment in the game for a Terran player, and we do start to move onto the map. So, onto the map we go. Raven, a couple tanks, a few Marines all coming across right now. I got the Observer in the middle of the map as well, so just going to be able to get rid of that, take that down too. Nice little bonus. There's the Archon Immortal. Charge lots all continuing into play for now. Instant back combat shield and +1 coming up as well. A couple of Widow Mines are still on the way out also. The starport will start up a couple of medevacs here, so just going to get those on the way. The siege tank going to reposition onto the naturals. Just going to position itself there as well. Oliveira would... Well, I mean, he's not going to get much of a push going. Storm's now on the way from Showtime. If Showtime gets up to Storm, I mean, I do think the longer this game goes, I do just love Showtime's later game PvT. He's so good at those late game defenses, at those late game holds, and all that kind of setup. He's very, very good at it as the command center goes down there. Again, Conquest of Shells on the way up, +1 attack upgrade coming through. And medevacs work their way out into the bottom side of the map. Medevacs continue to boost. The Observer sitting on that left-hand side. Storm about to finish. We do have a few units continue to hit down a set of rocks here. Trying to open up as best as possible. Medevacs get all the way out over to the left side. Banshee that was there earlier hurting and trying to get away too. There's a few more Zealots get warped in. Medevacs come boosting across. And there's a couple of units already here. High Templars are nearby as well in the prism, so this just isn't going to really go anywhere. We do take position over here, which is only really an issue because Showtime has a gateway that's a little bit too far forward. It's not really somewhere the tanks can usually get much done. What the tanks can do is, you know, support this Bioforce here. It's going to be difficult to clean that up as the storm comes down. Yeah, okay. Well, the storm forces the lift off, and that should be just about it. I mean, the position's annoying. I guess the assimilator is typically in range there as well. I don't think the assimilator was actually in reach, as we do have a couple tanks now being brought up to the high ground, trying to get away as Showtime gets units over there. He's losing a lot of probes, as this attack from Oliveira has definitely thrown him a little bit right away here, it feels like. And a few more Zealots won't try and warp in. There's just units everywhere, and like I said, the one thing I think Showtime has to try and do is absolutely control this multitasking and multi-prong of his opponent, and that is just proving to be very difficult at the moment. As the Zealots, Stalkers, Sentry all nibbling up on the medevacs as well. A bit more damage being done. The Marines are going to drop off and go after some of those probes also. .30 probes going down. Well, Ghost coming up, +1 attack, armor upgrade coming through, a couple of Widow Mines getting joined in there as well, so all of that continues to come around for a little bit. Again, the medevac pulling back over to that right-hand side, and a couple of Widow Mines just continue to play the burrow game. for the moment as well. So they get set back up too. More shots, a couple more probes continuing to drop here for the moment. A little bit more damage being dealt as we have ourselves the third base getting settled down also. Just going to move back over in this direction. Prism loads up a few more high tempo. I mean, Showtime took damage there, and don't get me wrong, that was painful. Look at his word count down to 39. We're going to try and defend this somehow. Like, his army's still okay, and maybe if he could actually take a fight, but the problem is there's Ghost up already, so that's going to create an issue as well, no doubt. Almost 100% going to be a problem. As the Medevac gets all the way to that right-hand side. The other unit's going to come back around. Woodermine gets knocked down immediately as well. Yeah, what's up, Mini Yawn? Thank you so much for the 5-month resub on the Prime. I believe first sub of the day, unless I missed one. If I did, I'm sorry. As we are going to go charging forwards here, so we're going to start pushing in for some damage. Bio units getting pulled back. Just going to be having an EMP going down. Trying to hit a couple of those high tempo, trying to get rid of them. Some feedback's coming down too. Showtime pretty much all in with his attack. He did not go back to building probes. He knows that he needs to make this work right here. I fear that that's not going to happen without the, storms really available to him, and he already lost a bunch, so I feel that this is going to be an unfortunate ending. Some SCVs getting stormed here. Let's see if Showtime can make it happen. With Vikings on the ground and the rest of the units continue to fight back as well. I just don't think it's going to be the case. And it is going to be Showtime in too much trouble, as Oliveira is going to come through for the first game of the series. Just like that. Nicely done by Oliveira. Again, we're two going to be on Golden Aura, so we'll get that host up straight away, guys. Again, thanks for joining us today. Nice and early as Oliveira is going to take the 1-0 lead. Game number 2 coming up. This is, again, like I say, for Showtime, I feel like if he gets through that phase, he's in such a good spot, but that's where Oliveira is so good at creating the chaos, creating trouble, and making this game very difficult to maneuver as the Protoss player. But I imagine that's consistently going to be part of the issue here. As we got Oliveira invited in, and we should be good to go. What's up, Terranzoid? How you doing? Good to see you. Got players both ready. Looks like we've got 10 casters. We've got so many casters, it's going to be hard to count them every time. Multitasking that first attack from Oliveira was impressive. Yeah, he was all over the place. He was just like boom, boom, bang. Got it all wrapped up and put it away. Very nicely done by Oliveira, honestly. Great play. Like I say, that's what he's so good at as well. Like playing quickly, playing all over. He's one of those players that's actually very good at that multitasking and causing chaos in the earlier stages of TVPs. Yo, Dohi, thank you so much for the 6-month in advance sub. Appreciate that. 35 months in total. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for the generosity and the belief in continuing to support StarCraft 2 for the next half a year. Love to see that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Got some love in the chat for the couple subs coming in, guys. Appreciate the support. Without you guys, we would not be able to be here producing these events for you all. So thank you so much in that regard. Let's get back at it. As in the top left corner of the map, our Red Terran play here up 1-0. In this best of 5 semi-final of WardiTV October, this is Oliveira. Takes on in the bottom right corner the blue Protoss player. This is Showtime. Game 2 of the series. Well, Golden Aura, obviously a bit of a nicer map for Showtime. It's going to be a little bit larger. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable to kind of maneuver around on this map. So it's going to be a few less positions that Oliveira can take advantage of specifically as well, I think, is one of the main points of note. gateway and the probe continue to come around for a moment. We get that all set up. The engineering bay going to go down on the natural as well. Probe comes back up. Just going to be seeing the Reaper is on the way out of the barracks, so we continue to get that Reaper initially. Probe just being very safe and secure about this, right? Making sure he knows what's in. We do have to put the expansion on the third base location, though, so Showtime will have that on the third base already. And that's going to be something that maybe Oliveira tries to take advantage of. The positioning there is one thing you can try and abuse. And like I say, would not be too surprised if that was indeed abused. As our engineering bay and our bunker continue to come up. CP coming around. Continue to get underway. Assimilator coming through as well. Battery continue to come about. Max is still making his way in. Obviously, just get that up and running. That bunker in the back, it's funky to see what Showtime does to deal with this, because that's obviously a little bit of an annoying position. Battery itself is actually already taking a bunch of damage as well, which is also, in this scenario, obviously a little bit frustrating. So that battery in some trouble. Stargate gonna proxy from Showtime. Wow. So he's gonna send some aggression to the other side of this map immediately and just say, yeah, if you're focused on doing this, I feel like I can get some damage done. He might not be wrong. 2 more barracks behind this. It's gonna be a Marine count, but not like a Cyclone or anything, which is very good defensively against the Stargate. So it'll be very interesting. These 2 Stalkers will force the salvage. And Showtime will get the base up. Still obviously has the proxy Stargate. Yeah, I mean, Marines obviously can shoot up. And Marines can't shoot down any Oracle that will arrive off that Stargate. But, like you say, because there's not a Cyclone, they're not going to have that reach to kind of chase as much. So I actually kind of like this a lot for Showtime right now. I feel like this is actually going into a pretty good place for him early on. That bunker, that add-on addition, the tech lab's going in as this Woodoma. God, I'm saying all the wrong unit words today. Unit names. 2 Stalkers get rid of the Reaper, not a Woodoma. God, like, there's not even a factory on the map, Wardy. What am I doing? My brain's just like, StarCraft. Having a minor panic, to say the least, as the Oracle gets up around the top and towards the main base. Oracle's activating. That's 6 SCVs going down, so what a great proxy so far. Gets in and does a ton of damage, and Showtime is going to enable a pretty good position here. He's got to be a bit careful, because it's obviously a Stargate opener, and he's going to be playing against 3 racks, so that powerful stimmed combat shield timing window could be something he's got to be cautious of. 2 more gates on the way. He needs to focus on getting those units out. He needs to get those units up and running. Really needs those to be successful here. We'll see if he can do just that as the Oracle comes back over. Couple extra gates coming down, getting set in. We're going to be having ourselves the stimulant combat all continue to come through for a moment or 2 longer. As that turret's coming about, it's going to be seeing the stimulant combat shields on the way through. There's a few Marines coming over as well. All of that continuing about right here. The Stalker gets warped in. The Stalker Sentry still gathering up. We will have the bio about to arrive. We need to make sure this defense is good here from Showtime. If he lets this go too far, this can become a major issue very quickly. As the first stage sword is only going to catch 1 Marine. Force field's available to buy you some more time. I love that first force field. I don't know if I love the second. I feel like maybe you can let him kind of take a step forward first before you drop a second down. Leon's going to go the other way. Bayuan's going to pull back the other direction as well. Marine's still going to get grabbed and jumped on. Bayuan's going to continue to come through. And a couple sentries going to step back as well now. Just for a moment or 2, going to try and get to a little bit of safety. Oracles need to be careful, because obviously they're very useful throughout the game. Keep the revelations up, keep the information coming. There's a lot you can gain from keeping those oracles alive. So, yeah, make sure you don't fly them into missile turrets plus marines, because keeping them alive is great. And it's the sort of thing that will make the game more stable for Showtime. Having information on where the opponent's units are makes the game a lot more comfortable compared to that last game where suddenly he was falling apart because he lost track of one set of units and then the next set of units hit, and that's how a game unravels in a PvT. That's how someone like Oliveira looks to win games. So having units like the Oracles up and alive and consistently providing that information is absolutely huge. It's massive. Gonna drop our Robo Facility down. Still got the +1 and the blink coming up. Robo Bay will finish through in a couple as well. Obviously, get that continued tech going. Do expect Showtime to just take steps in towards nice macro, kind of plays. He's on 3 bases already. Oliveira, though. Talk about Showtime moving into nice macro-based plays. Oliveira is sitting on 2 bases. 3 barracks still, and apparently no sign of moving on from that. No 3rd command center yet, so a bit of an aggressive push here from Oliveira. Definitely looking for some success right now. Let's see what he can maybe find. A little bit of bio continues across as well. So yeah, Stasis Wall going off, trying to get a little bit of a catch going. Nothing happening. SCV is pulling across the map also, so away they go. Trying to get down to the bottom side. Here we have Oliveira, who, his World Championship victory came off that semifinal against Hero, where he was very good at utilizing SCV pulls to punish Protoss players. But Showtime, I think, is honestly a bit too well set up. He did damage early. He's continued to put himself in good positions. He's given himself a lot of good tools here. He does have the super battery already activated, though, to keep some of these units alive because of the tank shots. The tank shots are doing way more than I think we ever thought they would. Now Oliveira starts to break in. The only thing I will say is he's already stimmed here, so his units are a little bit low HP. That Colossus has to try and stay safe. It does not have extended thermal lance, so it's very difficult to keep it safe. That's just about going to live, though. The second Colossus is going to help out a lot as well. Definitely makes it tougher for Oliveira to justify committing through. That 3rd base is in a little bit of trouble. Showtime's army supply is not quite holding up, though. The problem is the siege tanks are such an issue. They're doing so much. They're just at the perfect range to make it so difficult for Showtime, who is in trouble. The 3rd base is going to likely fall, and that is going to put him in a world of pain, even against a 2-base Terran here, because you've already lost a few units trying to protect this, and now your Robo Bay in some trouble as well. The tanks are trying to get set up. Can we get rid of one of them? Yes, we can, but the Colossus, I don't think, is going to be safe enough at all, and Showtime does not have the army supply to hold on. Oliveira is going to take a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. Wow, it just felt like Showtime kind of was on his way to having that one, and then, God, what a brutal loss, because I think those 2 siege tanks were just completely unreachable for him, and they did so much. Had to pop the super battery early because of the tank shelling away on his army as well. Did not give him, did not do him any favors at all. Holy. Well, that's kind of a wild one, to be honest. That's kind of a wild one. We're going to go to Oceanborn for map number 3 of this series. So we're going to kick this off and see if Showtime can bounce back. But that's 2 elite for Oliveira, so fantastic start for our Chinese player here in this semi-final. Looking to book himself perhaps a trip straight through to that grand final. No questions asked today. Let's get this hosted up for you, everybody. Any moment. Obviously got a bunch of people that are going to join this lobby as well, so we'll just take a second to filter through all of those. Busy day cast-wise. Oliveira into position. Go, ready. I'm gonna kick this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. let's get this up and rolling. All right, gonna get this set to rumble. Thank you for joining us again, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Get the games going. In the top left-hand side, up 2-0. Are we going to speed through our first semi-final of the day? This man is making it look like we may be. It is going to be Oliveira in the top left corner. In the bottom right, our red Protoss is Showtime. Probe going across the map and get settled in. Game number 3. Can Showtime bounce back? Really hoping we can. Yeah, gas coming up. Rax gas coming in. Probe across the map to scout as well. Showtime not taking any risks here. Obviously, last chance already for him. Man, I feel like Showtime consistently has this in the last couple of WardiTV events where he looks freaking awesome. And then he gets to just a certain matchup and it just crumbles for him. Now, it happened in the last event we had where he absolutely rocked his group. Just got destroyed the first round of the playoffs. Comes in to this tournament. Very good in his group. Great first round of the playoffs. Currently getting destroyed in the second round of the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like he looks so good until he just doesn't. I was very excited for Showtime last couple of events because it just looks like he's been playing very well lately. So hopefully that remains true. So the Nexus comes in, the Adept comes up, and the Reaper in the command center continuing through as well. We continue to bring that into play right now. Just get that settled for the moment. Okay, coming up as well as we continue to get all of that on the way in for the moment here. Well, the Twilight Council is going to be the tech choice from Showtime, so we see that nice and early. Know what direction he's at least going to try and take this game in himself. Not going to go into that Stargate. Kind of being a mix, right? Because he didn't open Blink game 1 either. He opened Robo into Charge. So yeah, it's been a mixture of different openings from Showtime as he tries to find his footing in this series. Maybe the Blink play will be the one that kind of unlocks something a little better for him. Maybe this is the one that's going to make him a bit more comfortable and especially just able to kind of deal with a little bit more of this Oliveira aggression early. Because he'll be able to apply a bit more pressure himself. He kills 2 SCVs, but he's going to lose 2 probes. The Reaper is fairly successful over here. There's going to be a chase down. Manson is still coming up. Rax and the Marines on the way through. They're just going to be hanging about. They're just going to go shading again. They're just going to get taken out. CC is going to be just halted for completion. So that's nice as well that Showtime got a little slowdown on the expansion. Because they trade 3 workers for 3 workers. Showtime also getting the slowdown is pretty nice. Pretty even though for the most part here early on. As our SCVs get back to mining. Double orbital on the way up as well. So you can see triple CC on the side of Oliveira. So he's going to be playing a bit more on the greedy side of life, right? But triple CC is not super ridiculous in this day and age. We see it a lot. Definitely one of those question marks, though. If Showtime doesn't do much here and his opponent just gets to go triple CC for free, that could definitely become a problem, right? That could definitely be something which has an impact further down the line. Robotics facility finishes up the observers on the way out. The Blink continues to come through as well. Similar's in the position. Is that CC a little off place? No, I don't think so. And I see what you mean, maybe like one hex down, but I don't think so. Hex coming through. Probe still coming up as well. Impact, combat shield, couple marauders all continue to be brought through. The refinery and the engineering bay being brought up as well. So, yeah, set for the next stage of this game. Showtime with the observer will just confirm everything that is going on here. So, has complete information for the moment. And the marauder's going to come through, fighting against those stalkers. So, a few stalkers taking a few different hits. Again, Marauder combat +1 coming about. Just going to be seeing the Robo Bay, the Forge coming through, the few probes coming on in as well. Just going to be seeing the Charge also coming online. And the Robo Bay will come up as well. So just getting that Robo Bay up and online here in a couple moments. Bio units still gathering together. Still coming over. Bio units trying to get in position. The +1 attack and the custom shells also building through. The Bio going to step down. The Stalker's going to take some hits. Going to get pushed away the other side. So Stalker's getting pushed out of there. The Bio will continue across and give chase for a couple of moments. As Showtime's in an interesting place where he's kind of free to tech up, but he can't be too greedy because the Terran player, despite the 3CC, will still have a good timing window once upgrades are done, which is very soon. So Showtime has to find the right balancing act of kind of being a bit greedy himself, but not leading the Terran player into having just a huge opportunity. A huge opening at some point. So, like I say, a bit of a balancing act to be made. Stalker's going to come through there. They're going to grab themselves a Marine. Stalker's coming back over. Our Nexus will go down again. Fourth base setting up. So, yeah, like I say, it's just a question of can you comfortably take that fourth base? So far, it seems like we are going to be able to. Charge finishes up and +1 attack still comes through. We got to buy that to grab a little hallucination. Showtime has been one of these players that actually hallucinates like mass probes to just try and keep an eye out the front of his bases and in front of his units. So that's what these couple of pops are, just hallucinate probes that have been spread around the front just to keep track of where that Terran army might be trying to move to. Like I say, Showtime has been pretty fond of that. I'd say it's been a couple of months. Over the last couple of months, I've seen that a couple of times from him. We have that Widowmine taking some shots there. The other units coming back over. The army coming back around that left-hand side. Colossus will get rid of the Widowmine. Just going to be seeing the other mine been taken down as well. Vikings on the way out. I mean, obviously, very passive game considering Oliveira's been playing quickly as well so far. This game's going to take a very different turn than that. This is going to be, like I say, much more passive, much more slow going. Everyone's getting chances to actually set up and everything, so that's a nice little bonus as well. So Stalker's Colossus continue to come about. Just going to be seeing the +2 attack, +1 armor, the Prism speed. Showtime giving himself more tools as well, but I will say that Showtime, well, obviously Oliveira wanted this game because he went 3CC. Like, this is the sort of game where Showtime feels more comfortable, and he feels like his army's good enough to start poking across the map as well. Button shield pops, so Showtime clearly is sort of thinking about the idea of fighting, but not going to pick into it just yet. Shots coming through. You're going to be having the rest of this army just going to step back a little bit. +2 armor on the way up. The +2 attack is already coming up to being done as well. So getting that completed very shortly. And the Bio going to go after a couple of those stalkers, already grabbing some of those Getting some nabs on them pretty much straight away. Gonna take this fight. Disruptor shot's gonna be good to scare the the Terran player back a lot. A lot of Zealots here. The Colossus, are they gonna live through this? The Stalker's gonna focus down the Vikings. We are not gonna lose a single Colossus. Both get to live. That's huge. And that means that Showtime is going to keep his tech units alive. Now, they're super low, super easily taken down, but he obviously wiped every single Viking. And if he just steps back, those Colossus live, and now you've got to remake Vikings. That's a cost from Oliveira that he maybe was not, or was hoping to avoid to some extent. +3/+2 on the way from Showtime. It continues to improve his upgrades. The 2-2 is coming in shortly on the side of Oliveira as well. Trying to get to that. So it's going to charge up. You're going to be seeing that bio again pulled back. There's going to be the Colossus stepping away again. Another Disruptor shot will force the bio away from being able to chase. I honestly think Showtime is doing a great job of this so far. Keeping the pressure up, keeping the trades going, and just keeping the... keeping Oliveira in a little bit of a tough spot where he's got to constantly respect this Protoss army. Especially when these Zealots keep getting forwards and chasing onto the Marauders. It's pretty scary. Now, Showtime does lose a bit of supply here. Going to use the Disruptor to try and zone as he hits this base. Good position on the Disruptors, using them in a good location where they can't get jumped on and abused. Oftentimes you see the Disruptors firing too far forward, and that obviously becomes a little bit disastrous, so... The Zealots charging forward there. Marine goes down. The rest of the Zealots continue through onto this as well. The Zealot Stalker coming back up. The EMP goes down on the Zealots as well. Another Disruptor shot coming by. Orbital Command lifts up into the sky. Also there, just going to be having the group of units moving back over. Showtime, again, just clipping with the Disruptors and maintaining supply lead as he keeps these fights going. Another round of Zealots going to come charging forward for him right now, getting those straight out into the front, and we are going to be seeing our Stalkers, Zealots, and Disruptors still hitting the front as well. Disruptor shots coming through. Bunker is going to be unloaded, and we pull back away from that. A few more shots coming about still. Disruptors taking some hits. First Disruptor going down. Next Disruptor is going to be falling. But it doesn't matter because Oliveira does not have that much left to really play with here. And so he types GG's and we get ourselves a series with Showtime bouncing back a map already. That's going to be very exciting. That's definitely going to push us kind of the direction we want to go, which is seeing more games between these awesome players is what we are going to get as we head into game number 4 on Alcyone. We're going to kick this off and see whether Showtime can continue the return or if Oliveira will get back on track and finish this series off as he was doing initially. Let's get this ready to go. There, 1, 2, 3, Showtime. Match history, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are good on the cast account. Players are ready. We can indeed go. Yeah, guys, new patch is still PTR. We'll do a specifically new patch tournament next week. We're not going to run a new patch in the middle of our tournament. Especially when I think this patch is probably going to see some changes before next week as well, most likely. So, yeah. Kicking off into Alcyone. Let's get this going. Showtime versus Oliveira. Game number 4, guys. We kick this off and we have a look to see what's going to go down. Get this ready to rumble. As we have ourselves in the bottom left-hand corner the blue Terran player. This is going to be Oliveira. He is up 2-1. Sorry, I had to score the wrong way around there for a second. Taking on the red Protoss on the top right side is going to be Showtime. Game 4 of the series. Iceman Melting, thank you so much for the 7-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for everything, Wardy. Any thoughts on the new patch? Yeah, some of it's a little wild, but I've talked to a few players, and the general consensus I'm getting from a couple players I've talked to is that it's pretty good. Not everything is good, but honestly not as bad as the community outrage is. Like, I think certain things, like, people are like, kind of like, what? I think if they remove the right things and keep some of the right things from this set of ideas, then I think it's heading in the right direction. And that's what the PTR is for as well, right? So yeah, yeah. Like I say, I was pretty skeptical about the patch when I just read the notes, but like I say, talking to a lot of the pro players, it seems pretty promising, like I say, as long as they just change the right things still, which, like I say, should happen, I think, so yeah, I'm pretty positive about it, actually. CV just going to nibble at a probe. Couple shots coming through. It'll be fun to see next week. We will, like I say, run a patch tournament, so we will have a little bit of a look at it. Like I say, I kind of expect it to be changed already a little bit by then, to be honest, so yeah, be interesting though. Fun to see some games. The Proby comes through, poking around a little bit initially, bit of back and forth here in this Game 4 opening. Just take a quick moment, guys, to say thank you very much if you tune in across the board, but I just want to specifically say if you're watching on YouTube right now, it's going to help the stream out massively if you just take a second to scroll down beneath the video and just hit that like button. It takes, you know, if you're on a PC or something, it really does just take a couple of seconds to scroll down and hit the like button. It helps us out a lot. Coming up, CC coming in. So yeah, sorry, I got distracted halfway through that. Yeah, do consider hitting the like button on the YouTube stream if you're watching there. It really does helps more people to see it. This YouTube's been doing great lately, and if we keep on bringing more people, yeah, if we keep on bringing more people to the YouTube, we can keep on running more events on the YouTube and stuff as well. So, like I say, take a moment, hit that like button. It really is super easy to do. It's simple as that, and it goes a long way. So thank you so much. You've already done that. Already sitting at 50 likes today, and it's the first hour of the stream, which is actually pretty nutty. So, yeah, road to 100. Road to 100. Few Marines gathering up. The Adept is going to be there as well, shading forward to try and see what sort of pressure it can apply. Going to have a few Marines continue to gather around. Let's see our Cyclone coming up. A couple extra Marines coming through as well. The Warp Gate and the Blink continues to come through. Marines and the Cyclone just going to get there. The Adept does get shoved away, so a little bit of a pushback on that for a couple of moments. We do have ourselves, again, the Medevac, Cyclone, and Marines all continuing through. They gather up in the middle of the map still. Again, the Robo Facility going to be finishing up very shortly. Also, a couple more probes on the way out. Continue to bring all of this into play as our Marines and our Cyclone will just continue to go on a little bit of a shove forwards. This group of aggressive units can do a lot. No damage on the Cyclone yet is a little bit of an issue as well. Just going to step up. We're going to be seeing the Cyclone dropping back down. Battery is going to be getting taken out, so it's going to be a little bit of a grab there. Stalker's still trying to fight that one Cyclone that's low. I don't hate that we don't put damage onto it, because obviously the Medevac micro is available, but it feels so bad to see that Cyclone so low and not being handled. We obviously are using the blinks to the best of our ability here. Cyclones are low. We're actually going to kill both of them. No lift up on the Medevac. And you just expect Oliveira to produce that micro. He's going to lose everything in the end, and wow, that's a massive cleanup for Showtime. Took a little bit of effort, took a little bit of micro on his side, but he got there in the end. That is going to be huge. You have YouTube Premium now, as the ads annoyed me enough. Do you still get support if you don't watch the ads? Yeah, I think YouTube Premium just works the same way as kind of like Twitch Turbo does, which is that basically you pay, you know, I get paid as though you've watched ads, but you don't watch ads because they just pay me a portion of your premium. So that's how I understand it, at least, as the Stalkers are going to get rid of a couple of SCVs. Stalkers will take some damage themselves. Showtime obviously still down a game in this series, looking to bring us to a Game 5 in our first semi-final of the contest today. Stalkers are going to be there trying to fight that Liberator. Oh my god, having to hide in the corner, but we do manage to hide away just a little bit. Beautifully done. Server overhead is allowing the blink into the main base. So Showtime will start to deal some damage. SCVs will begin to go down. Damage being done. That's nice. 4 SCVs, bunch of workers off the line. Stalkers just blinking away and getting out of there. A couple went down, yes, so this wasn't free damage or anything, but still not bad at all. Difficult to really find a way to complain about that from Showtime's point of view. Getting in, getting some damage done, and continuing to put some pressure on this game. As Oliveira is going to be struggling to stabilize and get into that momentum-based game plan that he likes to. Going to be seeing a couple tanks setting up. The bunker's still coming in as well. Continue to get that all going. Charge, +1 attack, extended thermal lance continuing to produce as well. So all of that's still coming up here. Having our again, trio of Terran upgrades all finishing up shortly, so once they are done, we'll see a little bit more of where this is going to go. Means the siege tank just going to be popping out and moving forward, just going to be coming to the frontier already as well, try to see what's going on. This is where Oliveira can start getting a bit of a shove going, but the way that this game has gone, I'm not sure the shove's going to actually have that much power to it, because I feel like Showtime's been able to control this pretty well. Let's see if that's true. We'll see how much power this has getting to the other side of the map. The one big thing could be if Showtime just can't stop this getting in position. We saw how good the tanks were on Golden Aura. Once they got into position, they could get a lot done. So, maybe something to think of there. 4 siege tanks. The SCVs are pulled as well, so the SCV pull here. The Showtime has 1 Colossus. Now, he doesn't have extended thermal lance yet, but he's on his way to it, so that would be a major help if we get there. You're going to see the first couple of force fields going down, but again, the tank's already looking good, but this time the Zelds are just going to push their way forward. We're going to start getting damage on these tanks in a moment. There's not much else to protect, and this time as well, the super battery is able to be active during the main fight rather than prior to the fight. That's huge, as we are going to be seeing, yes, 1 Colossus goes down, but we've gotten rid of 2 of the tanks already. A lot of the power of this push has already been negated. And yeah, Showtime maybe doesn't have a lot of army supply, but I think he's a warping away from being just absolutely fine on this. We do see another tank pushing up. The Nexus will be taking some hits. A new Colossus arrives. A warping of Zealots comes into play. Zealots keep on charging forwards, and Oliveira's going to have to type GG's. We have a full series on our hands as we are going to go the full distance. We're going to go to Game 5. Our semifinals are going to deliver, turning it around here. Love to see that. I was a little scared because obviously yesterday's... I said this earlier to Helen, actually. I was like, yesterday's games were really good, and that usually means today's games are going to suck. Because that's just the way it is. We usually have one great day, or like we usually have like great groups and then terrible playoffs or something. I was like, yesterday's playoffs were so good. Day 2 is going to be stomp mode. And very happy that we turned it around, especially after this was a 2-0 start. Showtime is proving my thought wrong as we... get this set to go into game number 5. Can Showtime take 3 in a row? Starting to kind of settle into this series a little bit, perhaps you could say. Get loaded into Amphion in just a moment or so, guys. Get this ready to rumble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Missing a caster still from the party. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, well now we're good officially. Brilliant, beautiful. Players are ready. Let's click start game and get this going, guys. Let's go into game number 5. Final map of our first series, of course. Shin versus Clem coming up after this. If Showtime wins this, it means guaranteed a non-mirror matchup in the grand finals, best of 7 as well. So that's very fun and exciting. So I think that's very cool. Lovely. Alright, let's hop into the 5th map. In the top left corner, we are going to have ourselves the red Terran player. This is Oliveira. And in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Protoss, we have Showtime. Game 5 of our series, we get underway. We already have an SCV on the map as Oliveira looks to open a little bit aggressively here in the final map of the series. What has he got under his belt? He's got himself already right now a barracks. Single proxy racks, but maybe this could be more as well. Oliveira can be such an aggressive player. I will say that again and again and again and again. So continue to get that up and online. Bring that up. It's going to have ourselves a couple of refineries coming through. The gateway and the assimilators coming out also. All of this into play currently. Waiting for this barracks to provide some excitement. You know, it's been a series where Showtime has scouted pretty consistently. He's always had that probe across the map, kind of looking to see what's up, and this time he's not going to send it, so going to be a little bit less aware of what is going on here, a little bit less aware of what is happening. What a time to choose to go no scout as your opponent does throw down the proxy. Well, obviously it is just a Reaper though. However, the SUV is still nearby as well, so we've got to keep our eyes on that just in case something comes from it. That is still a possibility. Similar coming through. Nexus is halfway done. The probe and the Adept continuing out. The Chrono Boost on the Adept coming around as well. The Reaper jumps into the main base and the probes will be chased. That pops. Reaper takes some hits. Reaper actually going to get pushed all the way down there. And the Adept just Chrono Boosting out once more. Again, the Marauder coming up. Nexus and the Stargate building into play currently. Have that Reaper back into the main as the grenade goes down. Probes are going to get popped. And the Adept still hunting around for that Reaper as well, really trying to see what else may be going on. Yeah, Concussive Shell's on the way, and obviously the factory proxied as well, so we are going to be seeing full-on aggression mode. It's not factory, sorry, Starport proxied as well. The Hellion is coming up on the other side of the map, so and that on the go is keep this moving. The Marauders and the SCV are going to step up a little bit here as well, and we are going to get ready to go for this. Now, Showtime has just a pile on the way. No battery is going to be scary. He also doesn't really have much DPS against this, but the Phoenix will be nice eventually. Just a question of how long does it take you to get to enough Phoenix to really help out here. Now, there's a Cyclone on the way as well. Phoenix comes forward. The Adept's trying to trade. Battery is going to be building as we do have the Adepts continuing to come about. But the Adept's not holding on very well. Showtime, lack of information, definitely going to be struggling a little bit. As we have the Hellions trying to chase the probes. 2 Phoenix now, so we can lift up one of these Hellions. We can lift up the other. I mean, this is a question of how much damage are we really going to achieve by the end of this, I guess, now? Battery is depowered. That's not pretty. Viking is going to land. I think the damage output is just going to increase a little bit too much on the side of Oliveira. This full commitment to a 1-base all-in is looking as though it might just get the job done. We cannot get the batteries repowered on the natural. Pylons keep dying. We're trying to build a Void Ray, which is a cute idea, but I'm not sure it would really be enough as the Oracle tries to trade with the Cyclone. I mean, it's kind of weird because we kind of have a group of units that could maybe do okay. I mean, if Viking taking some more damage, the Cyclone gets another lock on Oracle out of energy. Void Ray going to show up in a moment. I guess we're going to have 2 Vikings and a Cyclone that can fight the Void Ray. That should not really be an issue, although I guess we lift them. Well, let's see if we can just hold with the probes. I mean, Showtime is still 2 bases, right? As we are going to lift the Cyclone there. The Void Ray will be popping very, very shortly. As the probes have to pull in, though, here is the Void Ray to try and save the day. Activates the prismatic alignment. We'll start to go after those Marauders. We'll get all the Marauders. 15 probes went down already for Showtime during this. Kind of alive. I mean, down 8 workers. Oliveira expanding. Kind of alive, I think, is really the statement, right? It's like he's not dead. Is he in a good position, though? I don't think anyone's going to try and tell us that. Yeah. It's defense, but a very expensive defense. I actually wonder how this would have looked. I mean, in a way, it's interesting because like he lost a lot of pylons on the low ground that he didn't cancel, that he could have canceled as he was trying to rebuild them. But then his opponent, if his opponent didn't spend all that time trying to hit those pylons initially, maybe that would have been one of those scenarios anyways. As we get 3 SCVs for the Oracle going down. I was gonna say that maybe if we don't hit those pylons, then he gets into the main base even sooner. So those pylons were just necessary to get the Void Ray out at least. Showtime rebuilding 2 workers at a time right now. Viking moving about. Just going to have ourselves the Annex Phoenix coming in as well. So just bring that through. Going to go for another couple of SCVs. I mean, right now, any damage you can do is huge, and that's going to be free damage, essentially, because you're trading energy for a couple of workers. So that works. Oh, the Cyclones from the bottom side get the wraparound, though, and the Phoenix go down. They would have been just nice to keep alive, right? Oh, the units from the bottom side then getting the catch. The Phoenix probably thought they were in and out free, and that's what Showtime was hoping for, but losing those, it's going to make this a little bit tougher, especially because he actually made a third Phoenix as well, so he was definitely looking to keep building back into the Phoenix numbers, and that's now part of the issue, is that he doesn't really have any kind of army composition here. I mean, this is Cyclone, Viking. The Robo facility on the way, just not ready yet. The Void Ray, you can see, is already going to be in some trouble, as we are going to have the Stalker and a couple of sentries trying to help. It's going to be extremely tense for Showtime, if not just somewhat impossible to really hold on against. Force fields are decent. Utilizing the batteries to the best of his ability, still chrono boosting probes. He needs to kill that Cyclone. You've got to finish off whatever you can in these scenarios. There's no letting units go free. We're going to come back in. The Phoenix going to get some shots off. Super Battery active. We'll pull back to the Super Battery. We lose one Stalker, though. Obviously, Super Battery being on cooldown now means more opportunity for Oliveira following up from this. Showtime does shove it away, though. He survives. I'm just afraid that he's surviving building, like, a Mortal Phoenix. And, like there's different layers of fear here, right? Like, initially that was a problem. And now I feel like Showtime pushes this back. But his opponent's going to be on bio units. And he's building like an Immortal and Phoenix, but the Phoenix aren't in good numbers, and just a terrifying situation consistently from Showtime. Like I say, he just about solves one problem. The next problem is staring down, staring him down already. Phoenix going to go across the map, but once again, Oliveira is already moving out here, so Showtime might just need every single unit he can get back at home. This time there's going to be a tanking position. There's going to be Marine damage output available as well. Robo Bay on its way. The Immortal is going to be huge here, as we got to get some shots off with this Immortal. Good first force fields. Good medevac lift up as well, though. Immortal's just going to go for the trade on the siege tank. We are going to get the first siege tank. That is a big deal. Do we have... I was going to say, do we have any healing for that Void Ray? We did not. Super Battery pops arguably just a little bit too late. Would have been amazing if we could have saved that Void Ray. That could have been huge, as the Phoenix are positioning to try and either pick off reinforcements or to potentially go lift up the siege tank going into this fight. It's just so difficult to commit into those Marines, which are now about to have their combat shield upgrade as well. +1 is on the way. We do shut down a medevac. The tank pushes aggressively up into the base. Gonna see the Immortal, though, in trouble as the Marines turn onto the Phoenix. And Showtime, a valiant effort, but just no scout initially is going to kill him here, essentially. And Oliveira is going to take game number 5. And Oliveira is going to go to the grand finals with a 3-2 victory over Showtime here. Stops the reverse sweep from happening. And Oliveira will be in our finals, take on the victor of Clem versus Shin, which is going to be our next semi-final coming up in just a few. Can Shin get another one of those upsets over Clem, or is Clem just going to move through to make it a TVT grand final today? Oliveira gets there in 5 games over Showtime. I guess we're kind of cheering on Shin, guys. We want to see the non-mirror matchup, right? Absolutely. Guys, if you're enjoying the streams, do not forget to hit the follow button on Twitch. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube as well. Actually had we made a bit of a point about bringing up, like, hey, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube yesterday. And man, the impact we had, this is probably not going to sound like a lot, but we had 30 new YouTube subs yesterday, which is, I mean, to put it in perspective, the last time we had 30 new YouTube subscribers was legitimately 2 years ago. Yeah, January 2022 was the last time we had like 30 new YouTube subs in one day. So like almost 3 years ago. So just wanted to obviously mention, do check out the option to subscribe on YouTube. It's a great way to see when we're live and more videos going up and stuff as well if you are watching over there. And obviously continue to follow on Twitch. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, it is going to be time for more StarCraft 2 as Shin will be taking on Clem. We'll get that ready to go in a second. I'll just get Clem ready here, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. How we doing? Shin, Clem coming up in just a few moments' time. Gonna get more StarCraft 2 ready to go here in just a couple of moments. Good to see you all. Thank you for joining us. Been a great day so far. More StarCraft 2 coming up. Just while waiting for viewers to come through here, I thought I'd show off a couple of things. I literally just came in the post like in the last hour while I was streaming. World Team League gift box. I don't have my OBS open. I can't see if I'm actually holding in the right place. StarCraft. I love that StarCraft, but like without the without some of the main letters being there. That kind of looks like it just says staffed. Staffed. Beautiful. World Team League. The quality of the shirts and stuff from World Team League are always really good, by the way. They're like some of my favorites to keep on wearing. I don't know what this is. It's a box. We shall open the box. I actually haven't seen the World Team League gift box this year, so I actually have no idea. Oh my god, it's a board game. Holy. I have no idea how we're meant to play. The rules are in Chinese, but we have got a board game with a beautiful dice and some counters that have like tempests and mutas and battle cruisers on. You're gonna need a translated version of these rules. The World Team League board game, perfect for when the players don't show up and you've got downtime on the stream. Now we can just play the World Team League board game. Amazing. So funny, right? That's a cool one. And we've got this box. This feels like it's going to be a figure or something. Oh, is that a water bottle? Look at that. That's a World Team League water bottle. Of just a very solid size. Beautiful. It looks like Ludo. Yep, don't know how to play that one. It's the most complex water bottle I've ever seen. Oh my god. Wow. And it comes with a World Team League tag to put on it. Beautiful. Love that. Gonna drink all my water from this in the future. Amazing. This also has instructions. Wait, is it for hot drinks? I think it's for hot drinks. Translate time, guys. Oh no, it's just about it's just about cleaning. Oh, I thought it was something exciting, but it's literally just about cleaning. Cleaning instructions. Never mind. Never mind. Oh. Yo, thank you, Dustin's Place, for the 25-month resub. We need, and then just stops the message right there. Never know what we'll need. Oh my god, they made the pin badges huge this time. We got Clem. We got Geralt. Got Dark. Who's the last one? There we are. It's a vitality play. Who's in the bottom left, guys? Geralt, Dark. There's definitely a vitality shirt. So what? Ryung? It's not Maru, is it? It doesn't look like Maru. Alright, videos are coming in, by the way. We're not just completely wasting time. We got typical postcards. We have the Maru and Ryung persons. I'm not going to unpack this one right now. Kua? No, I don't think it's Kua. It's the wrong team shirt. This is the Maru Ryung. I can only explain it as like, oh, the MVPs, Maru and Ryung, and they get a stand. That's going to be fascinating. Oh my god, what's this? I have no idea what it is, but it's freaking cool. Hang on. Look at this. It's just a thing that sparkles. Yeah, love that. Love that, just sparkly, glittery moving. I mean, I don't know what I'm meant to do with that, but love it. Great. Yep, not sure what to do with that one, but awesome. We are getting videos done. I should probably go in game. It's like, yeah, I'm not sure what it's actually for, but kind of cool, right? Our first one's gonna be Golden Aura, guys. Sorry, I got this hosted. We only just got the full list of videos in. Let's get this hosted, get ready to start. Into Shin versus Clem. Yeah, then there's some stickers and stuff. Oh, I think these are actually magnets. Some magnets with probably some Chinese jokes on. Cool. Love those. I put these back in here for now. Don't lose it all. I kind of want to set up the Ryung Maru MVP stand, actually. Don't know why, that's taking my fancy. Alright, we are going to go in game in a second, guys. I'm going to set up this stand while we get this started. Are we missing Clem? Missing Clem. I'll be good to go. Alright, guys. Maybe a bookmark. It was way too thick to be a bookmark. It's like a proper, like, sturdy thing. Come join the lobby. If they're ready to go, we can kick this off. Oh my god, this is gonna make like a proper little... Oh, this makes like a proper little building thing. Ah. Players are ready. Right, guys, so when I miss something at the start of this game, it's simply because I'm trying to put this together, okay? It's for the good of your interest in the seeing what's in the WTL box. Oh, it's stiff down there. There we go. A bit of whack. Always a good strategy. Bloody hell. Don't mind me, just building my Maru and Ryung statue thing. As you do. In the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, our second semi-final of the day is going to begin with the blue Terran player from Team Liquid. This is Clem. Takes on the Red Zerg. Got the better of him on Monday in the WardiTV Mondays event, and we've actually already seen this guy take some revenge once this tournament by knocking out Max Pax in the previous round. It's Shin in the bottom right hand side. That was a great series yesterday, Max Pax Shin. It's really pretty excellent, so definitely want to watch today for sure. Kick this off and get this ready to rumble. Game number 1. Of course, best of 5 here in the semi-finals. Winner, we now know, plays Oliveira in the finals. That will be a best of 7. I'm kind of excited, even if that's TVT. Oliveira Clem TVT seems like a pretty fun time, if you ask me. Seems like a pretty fun time. Gonna kick this off, and obviously just kind of waiting to see where we're gonna go the first few moments, and so nothing too crazy just yet as we settle down. For the first little bit, we'll see a few lings on the way up, but that's gonna be about all the excitement that we have for the early couple of moments. So getting that underway, getting that sorted, getting that settled in. Figuring out where we can take things as we just have the Reaper going to try and dance with a few Zerglings for a couple of moments, so a little bit of dancing around being done. I've got our factory coming up and online, the command center still building as well. Continue to bring all of those about just for now. Getting set up with as much as possible here as we do have the Reaper moving out the other direction. Obviously, Clem's Reaper is always going to be pretty scary. Always a lot of potential for them to get a lot of work done. Definitely expect them to be potentially coming through and dealing some damage, so never count those out. But otherwise, just seeing a Roach Roaring from Shin. That's obviously going to be pretty noteworthy here, as he gets the Roach style potentially set up. How does Shin go about this series where I think a lot of the time, yes, he can get into good positions against Clem, but it's also about getting into good positions that are then good enough for him to close the game out from as well. So got to really try and figure that out, as this first Hellion attempt not going to go very far. Not going to be too successful. Just have our Reaper coming through and a couple of drones continue to come around, as the Wings continue to play a bit of a chasing game. We're going to be able to sit below ground for another couple moments then at least. Do have the Hellion coming by as well, man. Started off as a pretty okay defense, but continued attempts have seen Clem able to actually net himself some damage. There's 5 workers killed at the end of all this, which is, like I say, pretty darn good, considering that at first it did not seem as though it was really going anywhere at all. And obviously the Banshee will also be trying to get involved throughout this. More shots coming about, and that's just damage you just gotta be so ready to try and keep on dealing with here. How's the Zerg? Because Clem will be so consistent with those units as well if you let him. If you don't clean those up, if you let him keep on trying to find damage, he will do exactly that. He will keep on finding damage, so yeah, you gotta be very careful about that when you're playing against someone like Clem. Shots going through. I'm just going to have our Banshee still hit, and actually going to find the extractor, so even just continuing to find openings here. Nice to see him finding some opportunities. I have to show you guys this. Sorry, I'm completely mesmerized by this young Maru thing from the WTL gift box. I've got to show you guys this. Look at that in the bottom right corner. As these Banshees go for some damage. Isn't that just like a full-on 3D like young Maru stand? So funny. I just had to show you guys that. It's not been easy to build. I'm very proud that we got it built up. It's now pride of place on the back shelf. Alright. Banshee coming in, 7 drones on the way. You know what it is? Once I have a mission in mind, I'm just like, I can't possibly leave it alone. And I'm like, I'm building this thing. And then the game started, I was like, I will build this thing. Apparently it took me 8 minutes to build it. Yeah. Alright. Full focus on this TVZ though, as the Banshee is going to get a few more shots off on that hatchery. Speed going up, Roach speed is building. We do have ourselves the Spire on the way through and a couple of evolution chambers. Also in production right now, so we get all of that on the way up at the moment. Just going to have our Roaches and our Lings. Going to go off onto a set of rocks and trying to open this up as well. We do have our 1-1 upgrades on both sides, but Clem's will be sooner. I'm afraid Shin's trying to do too much. Playing roaches, switching into Mutalisks. I'm very afraid that he's trying to do way too much, in fact. And obviously it starts coming as well. We'll just see how Fibarian's going to try and get some more damage done as well. Marine's coming across, a few more shots coming over. It's going to be seen how Lings and our roaches continue to chase in for the moment as the Marines get chased right over to the corner of the base. Mutalisks on the way through. +1/+1 missiles and carapace coming through. Link speed, a big part of this as well. Continue to get a lot of this on the go for the moment. Marine siege tank. Continue to build up here as well at the moment, so we keep that on the go. Lots of Marines, a couple siege tanks coming around this side as well. Just going to be trying to take position. The Roach is going to get scared away immediately. I honestly think the way this game's been going and the way that... Also, just I think the way that Shin's set up, not just the damage that Clem's done, but also the fact that Shin's trying to play into Aspire and so on. Like, it's just been too much different investment being made, and I just don't think it's ever going to be good enough for him to then hold on. This is obviously 1-1 against 0-0-2. This first game, absolutely crushing from Clem. He comes straight through, and he is going to take the 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 semi-final. Clem gets it done in the opening game. Yeah, Shin gonna have to smarten up and play a little bit cleaner and a little bit smarter, I think, as well. I mean, I think, like I say, he's just trying to do too much. I mean, you're talking about a Zerg here who took some drone damage early, and then on top of that, he's building a Spire and an Infestation Pit and 1-1 Roach Ravager, and, you know, wasn't even really fully set on Roach Ravager. I mean, I honestly, I think Shin lost this game more than Clem won it, in a way. Don't want to take away from Clem. I think he did everything right, but I think for Shin to have any chance of being able to hold or do anything successful, that you can't just build a Spire and a handful of mutas while playing roaches against someone that's just done damage to you. I think there's got to be a point where you pull out from that strategy and you look for something different, and obviously that wasn't the case here. So Clem takes a convincing game number 1. Plus, I don't want to take away from Clem. He played great. He did exactly what he needed to, and just think that Shin made this a little bit more Clem favored than it needed to be as we get ready for our second game in a couple of moments. Clem and Shin both ready to go. Yeah, Jeff ready, go. Alright, let's jump into this. Game number 2 on Oceanborn as we try and see if Shin can take a step back in this series, recreate some of that magic from the other day, or if it is going to be Clem to keep on stomping on through. Potential to kind of go either, you know, any which way, right? So we will see here in just a moment as we are loading on in. Picking this off, like I say, heading straight into Oceanborn. In the bottom right-hand corner, we are going to have the blue Terran player who's up 1-0 in this opening best-of-5. It is Clem looking to make it a TVT finals. No, Clem, how could you? It's okay, even if it is TVT, I think it'd be a very good series, so we have that going for us at the very least. Takes on... sorry. Other side, the Red Zerg player, it's going to be Shin. Game number 2 and seeing where we'll go with this. It is going to be that hatchery first onto the natural, so no pool first shenanigans. It's going to be a very standard startup at the very least. Not a lot going on. We're not going to see the barracks finishing from Clem. We'll see what he wants to do off of that. It's definitely one of the more interesting things that we can take a peek at here as that CC comes down, gets put straight into position. Reaper in the orbital still on the way up, getting that all going. Just gonna see the Reaper popping very shortly again. Hatch gas and pool all coming up. The drone's on the way. Waiting to see whether Shin can do something funky. We'll have the gas to start link speed shortly as well, so we'll be able to continue with that. Factory, command center both continue to produce. As the link speed and the queens, the drone, continuing out as well. So again, just a little bit of everything on the way up for the moment. So we keep on bringing this all through for now. A couple of shots coming out, the grenades potentially able to be used as well if we would like to try and get a little bit more done. After swaps onto the reactor, gonna give the Clem a chance to start going into some of those Hellions and give him the chance to start taking some of that map control. Was already in with the Hellions that last game and was already in to kind of deal some damage very early on, so that was already a bit of a factor pretty quickly last time around. Definitely something to look at here too, is obviously the first two on the way up. So I'm just gonna have a third CC behind all of this as well, so as always, it's continue to play into that economy and that mid game, which will be very eco-focused for him. Triple CC just naturally kind of lead you to that point, so not really any surprises there. Well, Hellion still coming up, Liberator coming about as well. Command on the way in, and yeah, Hellion Lib as a combo, I will always say this is almost one of the classic Clem builds for me, because yeah, I mean, he's so good with that Liberator, being able to poke around with the Hellions, and then the Liberator is in the main or the natural and just constantly being relocated and being kept alive. Being able to get so much out of that is, to me, again, like I say, such a classic Clem kind of thing to do, and it really is one of the builds that he's very good at over a strong period of time. Just gonna have our Stimpack coming through from Clem now as well. Yeah, keep an eye on that Liberator because it's very impressive how well he can control. And I think a lot of the time, you used to talk about the word retention, right? Like, Clem used to be so good at just retaining his units, making sure his units never died, making sure he got the absolute most out of them. And it's when you see something like one of those harassing Liberators moving around that you really appreciate just how good he can be at maximizing the usage of it. Can't wait for him to lose that Liberator on the first siege up, just to make everything I'm saying sound silly. As the Liberator gets into the main base, it's going to get around the back and try to see what it can set up for. Two Queens in position. Hellions getting some creep teamers. Coming about as well with those Hellions getting back over to this side. Again, extra barracks on the way through, engineering bays and production. Have ourselves that Stimpack continue to come up as well. Liberator currently just sat around the back and shooting at a queen. Has not really done much. Is gonna, well, should be escaping with it there, but he actually stopped it. Takes a few shots, but it doesn't go down at least, so. I was like, Clem, please, do not just lose the Liberator immediately just after I've gone on this big spiel about how great you are with the Lib and how good you are at moving it around and blah, 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 blah. It would have been the moment, wouldn't it? Typical. Alright, well, he doesn't lose it. It's still just going to be there. But good defense from Shin as well, worth knowing, is that he's not let that Liberator do anything at all. The initial siege didn't do anything, so it's just sat there, very inactive and very incapable of doing much extra just yet. One still coming through. The Roach is going to be the style again from Shin, so not going into any sort of melee upgrade openings or Ling Bane. Really sticking with the Roach setup. Let's see how aggressive he gets with it this time. Like I say, last time it was a bit wishy-washy. He's building 1/1 Roaches, and he's like, cool, I'm going to get the Spire and the Infestation Pit. This time he might actually just send it. 66 drones, Roach Ravager attack. Lings are going to run into this third base right now. Nothing nearby from Clem as he's moved out onto the map. So great moment for Shin to show up and deal some damage. Multiple SCVs will begin to go down. Hellions are coming across to try and play cleanup as well. 7 workers, 9 workers, 10 workers dead. Beautiful run by. Fantastic start. Now, can the Roach Ravager deal with this Marine tank little push? I kind of feel so because he's been only building Roach Ravager off 66 workers. And if he can deal with this and then go across the map, he might be able to have a very good shot at this game, especially after worker damage has been dealt already. Corrosive Vial is going to try and get that tank. Great pickup from Clem. Just able to evacuate here. Important to keep those units alive, probably, because they're likely going to be the reason why he's able to defend at home eventually if this Roach Ravager comes swinging at him with the 1-1 upgrades now completing. So, yeah, any tanks at home are going to be a big bonus. Keeping those tanks alive is a major play from Clem. Very noteworthy. And, well, it may not have been the Liberator that kind of brought it up, but there you go. Exactly what I'm saying. You know, retaining his units, making the most out of everything. That's what makes Clem's DBZ so terrifying at times. And that's going to be one example of that. Here we go then. Shin up about 40-50 supply, but that's kind of how it's meant to be for these attacks. This is not unholdable for Clem. See what the position looks like too. I love the tank setup actually. Really deep, really far back, almost impossible to get Corrosive Vials on those freely. You're going to have to pay with the HP bars of those units if you want to Corrosive Vial them. One more shots coming through. The Marines stepping back a second. Let's attack on the way up. Extra Marines are building. Other Marines are coming over. The Overlord will get chased a little bit as well. Going to take a couple of shots. Scan up in the main base. Still got ourselves a Bane Nest coming through as well. So continue to get that on the go. Infestation Pit coming up. Baneling Nest continuing by. Lings +1 melee and +2 carapace while producing the Ling Roach Ravager will go after the rocks. Step on a creep. A couple of creep tumors beginning to go down. And in the end, obviously, we never really fully sent it. And I don't blame him. Like, the moment I saw Clem's defensive setup, I was like, yeah, that looks so good. Like, how do you ever get rid of those siege tanks without just paying way too much to get rid of them? At which point, you're probably just better off not attacking now and figuring out what to do in the future instead. Marines, tanks, medevacs continue to boost across over to the sides. We'll start going down this ramp. A little bit of a press forward here. Single growth's going to land on a lot of those units. Marines and tanks are going to get completely coated. Corrosive Vials coming down. The Roach Ravager getting chased away. And Clem still trying to press on forwards. Again, continues to keep the tanks alive, and that's got to be terrifying, right? He's lost 2 tanks this game, still has 7. With siege tanks out, you can almost always hold positions and trade well against this Roach Ravager style. Stepping up, a couple of creep teamers continue to drop down. Tank setting up as well, a few Banes on the high ground. Going to be taking some shots also. He's going to roll through. A few of those Marines are dropping. We are going to be seeing a Corrosive Vials to get rid of the forward siege tank as well. That's what Shin needs to do, start and work his way through those. Going after some SCVs once again now. There's a little bit of a run by. Love those. Again, the more activity we can provide, the more chance you are going to, you know, put yourself ahead and keep putting yourself ahead. So, like I say, I love to see that. Fire tank back over to the left-hand side. Medevacs overhead. We do have the Roach Ravager Ling Bane gathering back up. 3-3 upgrades are coming through. The +2 vehicle weapons and cluster shells coming through also as we step up the left-hand side, stepping onto creep. Infestors, Banes, and Ravagers coming forward once again here. One of the growth landing. A few of those Medevacs getting caught. The other bio units coming back over. Corrosive Vials will come out once again, hitting that siege tank. Ultras coming through again, +2 melee, +3 carapace, chitinous plating, all coming by. Clem's trying to roll in towards those Marines. The Ravager's going to fire up a few shots as well. Back and forth continues here for the moment. These units are really trying to chase in. I mean, these Ravagers do good damage, but it's scary if the Ravagers end up in the front, which is about to happen. So, going to try and escape away. Some Vials do land. Clem getting some Ghost in play as well. It's going to be very important for the fact that these Ultras are starting to show up too. That's going to be a real big thing that we got to pay attention to, as well as the Bio continues to come back up the left-hand side. A couple Lings going down again. 3-3 upgrades, +2 melee, +3 carapace, kite displaying. A lot of different bits and pieces just into action right now as our Bio unit's going to get rid of a few Lings at the front. I'd like to see Shin as he's starting to take map control here, or he should be starting to take map control here with this active army. He needs to start exploding on the map with bases and so on, right? Like, he needs to start expanding across. He needs to make sure the creep spread is out there. I think that's where he's going to see success in the later stages of this game. If you can take advantage of those things now. Currently focusing obviously trying to take this fight. A lot of these Bio units low on the HP bars. Not exactly the healthiest army from Clem that we've ever seen, as Ultra and a few Lings on the right side trying to find damage as well. So far, Clem handling this all pretty well, though. Got a couple more Infestors back into play, trying to get those fungal growths available, get those cancels on snipes and so available as well. Chain base still setting up again. Ghost tanks, all the rest continue to come through currently. We just got ourselves a couple more gases on the way out also. There's the Bane Ravager Ultra coming through. Bion's going to stand there and fight back. A few of those Lings going down. Couple more Bane's going to come crashing in as well. 12 SCVs being killed currently. Bio going to continue back up. The Ravager going down as well. Just going to be having the units continue to be chased out of here as we continue to step forward. Clem holding on. I mean, definitely not leaving too much of an exposed area. This is why I wanted to see Shin take advantage of expanding and creep spread during this time where he's active on the map, because then he can at least, you know, take that advantage back from all of this at the end of the day, right? So that would be a major plus if nothing else. Like I say, you can make guaranteed victories for yourself at some point, right? Fire steps forward, just going to have this hatchery immediately in some trouble. It's just going to go down, so yeah. This is why, like I say, that's why I'm talking about exploding, because if you take this base and then the base on the far left at the same time, maybe then at least one of those live, then you can kind of look at this and be like, yeah, I really progressed my position in this game. Instead, I feel like what's he achieved over the last couple of moments? He's kind of run headfirst into a Terran army, not really done anything. And right now, his progress in the last few minutes has been absolutely nothing at all, basically. So, really not ideal. Fungal Growth still coming down. Marauders, Medivac's getting caught. Snipes, not quite able to land as the Ultras turn away and get out of there. +3 melee coming up. The Overlord speed still producing, as Shin maybe looks for some options with that later on. He might just want to get his Overseers up to speed as well with everything else. Also a possibility currently. Bane Infestor just going to start running through and try and knock down this base. Clem has got 5 bases already across the bottom, so this would be base 6 that he really does. You know, you do not want to let this really go up as Shin. There's a few SCVs here, not exactly the prettiest of fights either, though. Scary times currently. Infestors, Banes, Ravager continuing through. Just going to be seeing a couple Ghost Snipes coming by as well. Fortress keeps coming in. We do have the extra Bane still rolling about. The Overseers overhead as well as Shin tries to wrestle this game into control. I mean, I don't actually think Shin's got much control in this game at all right now. I think he's kind of losing pretty rapidly here because Clem is moving into further tech. And I was just saying again, I do not think we've advanced our tech far enough for Shin or taken advantage of the moments of this game that were good for us. I think Clem is going to start really running away with this shortly. Clem's bases just seem to come online so seamlessly as well. Shin's, really struggling to get bases up, whereas Clem just kind of drops a few bases down. We're good. This is nice. We're going to get SCVs. We're going to get a Planetary Fortress. So this attack on the left side, finally finding some success here on the side of Shin. And big success, too. Now, obviously, the Planetary goes down. There are orbitals to replace it. But it's a step in the right direction, getting some SCVs as well. But, man, the Ghost Snipes on the exit are brutal. Losing a ton of units is going to be very painful. That's very sad. After the initial play and everything was great. But yeah, just a little bit rough around the edges at the end there on the getaway. Queen going down, the rest of the bio now actually going to get onto this hatchery, so just losing those units, you can see the repercussions already coming into play. Instant counterattack by Clem, as he's going to find a lot of value, and there's not a lot to really deal with these ghosts right now. They're just going to go sniping everything in sight. They obviously realize that they can take full advantage. They obviously can see that they are able to do a lot here. And yeah, I mean, Shin kind of set up to play an aggressive game control and composition and then never really did any of that, is the problem. This matchup, sometimes it looks kind of like, it's like, well, what the heck is this going to do? Well, yeah, I mean, basically just a lot more with the units that he made. By choosing to make those units and commit into them, you got to try and be a bit more active. You got to find some fights. I mean, he committed to a lot of moments in this game where he just didn't get enough done. The Roach Ravager investment initially didn't get enough done, right? Never really, created a trade at all. And these Ultras have never really done the same either, as Clem is going to take pretty comfortable game number 2. It started off rough. Like, the first bits of damage from Shin were fantastic. It just did not stay that way in the slightest. Clem is going to take a 2-0 lead in this matchup. Well, Clem on a 2-0 lead and a map away from the Grand Finals where he'd be playing against Oliveira. I get Game 3 hosted here in a couple of moments. Guys, as Clem looking as though he might be making this a TVT final today. We're going to be going to Amphion for our next map. Let's see what happens as we jump into this. Some server preference for Game 3 as well. Not exactly a saving grace for Shin. Alright, players are ready. We can kick this off. Once it's ready, GLHF. Go, G. Alright, let's go game number 3, guys. Can Shin find something? Did beat Clem in the best 3 the other day, but today Clem is seeming maybe a little bit too good. It's definitely not being moved easily. As we jump into the next game of this semi-final. Grand Finals coming up after this will be best of 7, Amphion. Map 3, let's go into it and see whether or not we can have ourselves a bounce back. It was 0-2 in our other semi-final. We went all the way to Game 5 in the end, so maybe a little bit of hope that that tradition continues today. I just want some more games of StarCraft too, guys. Is that so much to ask for in this day and age? Top left-hand corner, the blue Zerg player here is Shin. Currently down 0-2. Work to be done on Amphion. Really wondering what he might be able to try and get done on this, as we have at the bottom left the red Terran player, Clem. Obviously representing Team Liquid. He's your StarCraft 2 World Champion right now. Dude is pretty darn good at the video game. Who won the last big tournament? That was Clem. Our World Championship was the last big tournament, eSports World Cup. When is the next big tournament? Home Story Cup happens at the end of this month. Not this month, next month. End of November. So Home Story Cup happens. Don't have any other news on StarCraft 2 tournaments for the year just yet. What do you hope is the most biggest tournament that ever existed? Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, I agree, but yeah, some of these guys seem to prefer GSLs and stuff. Can't win talking to Twitch chat and stuff nowadays, can you? Well, we're obviously just trying to do our best to fill the content calendar until we do have bigger events more frequently again, guys. So again, if you are enjoying the events that we're running, you would like to support, please do consider throwing a sub down, got a Prime sub available, or just following, liking, all the usual stuff, guys. Like the video on YouTube, follow the stream on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, yada yada. Use your Prime subs. I've said a bunch lately. I feel like I'm getting burnt out of selling out. But all of it does help us to support more of these events and allow us to run more of these in the future. You consider checking that out as the Reaper gets turned away. Queen is going to be there to push the Reaper out. A little CC down. Reaper's still going to be chilling. Overlord nearby. Yes, we're still building. The drones are producing. Queen is about halfway done. Again, Queen's just building up. The Lynx will be coming through. Hellions on the way. Going to see what the next step of all this is going to be. Stopwatch swaps over toward the tech lab. It's going to be a move about. Have the Queen's going to get over. Obviously, play a bit of deflection. Do not want to let those Hellions and Reaper start to cause too much trouble. So just get on top of that quickly and easily. Best way to go about it. Marines is going to keep on going. Overlord will be pushed back. And it's going to be a little supply block actually as the Overlord goes down. And comes out of it. And with this Overlord finishing now. But yeah, a couple of moments. Hellions will fight. Grenade goes down. Push the Queens back a little further as well. So a bit more damage being dealt there. Again, Ally coming up, drones on the way, Queen producing, Bay Nest building. So honestly, that transition coming through for Shin into the next step of this game, so and that ready to go. And that coming up, just going to be seeing the Bay Nest coming through. Drone, Overlords, all continuing about currently. Hellions are going to get jumped on. A few Lings going to get chased away. There's going to be seeing the Hellions actually going to get chased in the end. Very low HP. Can we finish those off? Would be amazing. Reaper tanking some shots. Hellions going to get caught again. Are we going to be good enough? Look at the full cleanup. So Shin going to clean that up. He's going to get over here now, and SCVs are going to start dropping in. This is Shin once again getting off to a pretty good start. Thing is, we've seen Shin have a couple of good starts, and that's not necessarily been enough for him in this series so far, so keep that in mind. Continue to come about. Just going to see how Queen's going to get back over the right side. Hatcher going to go down as well. And Ling's pulled back too, so yeah, nice to get in there, nice to clean up the Hellions, nice to get across the map, but still a long way from being done as our Queens continue to chase a Banshee around. Fire building, Evo Chamber's coming through as well. Just gonna fire. Queen's already taking some shots. Just gonna be taking a couple more hits coming down. King's taking some extra hits also. Medevacs will load and we go boosting up the left side of the map right now, so just gonna get straight across in that direction and away they go. Let's see if Clem can find some damage with the dropships. And at the same time, we'll try and chip away one of the hatcheries in the end, Clem. So far, just found a creep team. It's nothing too major just yet. It is on the way out, so Shin. You know, I don't mind mutas in this game because I feel like at least it's just Lingvain muta, right? Rather than trying to play mutas on the back of like the roaches, then also get an infestation pit up. That was just again way too much weight at once. Space gets killed. No cancel from Shin. Queen's on the way over, but not there in time. So 5th base just going down, and again, money that could have been refunded is not had. Just the little things that really again could make a difference when you're playing someone as good as Clem. Little things really do add up in big ways. So. Yeah. And you have all the time in the world to know that that base is going down, so like you should really just be ready at some point and just say, okay, like I'm gonna cancel this, I'm gonna come back and cancel it. To not cancel it is, like I say, just quite the mistake in the end, unfortunately. It's coming about. Just going to be seeing the Marines still coming through as well. Trying for a little bit more damage here and there. Melee upgrades, Mutalisk, Slings, all producing +1 fire attack is on the way through as well. Marines and Medevacs still continuing out also. And back up in the bottom left. The mutas are going to try and come over. Level 2-2 on the way. I'm trying to get into that. I mean, Clem has been playing pretty passively against the mutas at times, and that has sometimes turned bad for him, so... Was it Shin Clem the other day that kind of happened in, whereas Clem's just been asked for a pause? It was Clem Shen the other day, right, where he was just kind of sitting back. It was I'm feeling as well, I think, and it kind of felt like it was fine for Clem. And then we were just kind of waiting and kind of watching, and then Shin just kind of won a couple of big fights. Like, he hit the base on the right side, then he came back the other direction. Or was that against Rogue yesterday? Yeah, my matchups mixed up. But yeah, there was one game where Clem was being pretty passive against the muta style, and I think it was against Rogue yesterday, because it was actually 2 base muta. And then he actually ended up losing that game, but... Did my mic get very quiet all of a sudden? I don't know. Sounds good to me. Let's take a moment here, guys. Obviously, hopefully Clem can sort his ping nice and quickly without too much issue. And we can get back into this. That's Clem. We'll give him a moment, of course. Obviously, just hopefully get through this without too many issues and get back to it. Obviously, no problem if he wants to just take a moment. If he does need to restart something, we can obviously restart and recover the game as well from replay if necessary. So, I want the players to be able to play in the best scenarios possible. Should be good now. All right, Clem's ready. Back to it. All right, so that Lingvain from that bottom side. One thing to keep an eye on is we do see the Marines. We don't fight the mutas, but we actually lose a medevac there. Don't go too well. Yeah, showing back up. Another Widow Mine going down for a couple moments. I mean, that's what the mutas want to do. Try and control this game as best they can, and I'd say they're doing a pretty reasonable job of that so far, to be honest. Vincent Bane still stepping forward. The Marines and the Widow Mines gathering up as well. He's going to go after the queens for a few moments too. Bane's actually going to show up over on this side. They're going to run straight in. It's going to be having the rest of these Marines, tanks, Thors moving about. More of this run-by action. I mean, this is all well and good, but you have to make sure you've got enough units to play defense at home as well. As Clem currently doesn't have enough units to play defense at home, but yeah, like I said, it's going to be typically the Terran army that comes out with just too much and the Zerg can't recover. So let's see, 18 SCVs just went down. I mean, that's pretty serious damage. Marines and everything else gathering back together currently. Marines going to hit that hatchery a few more times. Thor's tanks setting up. Ling Bane going to start running forward. Going to jump into these couple of tanks in the front now. Damage being dealt. The Lings and the Banes trying to trade. Thor's going to lift up into the medevac, so that's going to be value found. Shin supply ain't doing it for me right now, guys. He's down by about 60 army, and he just does not have the numbers. The Banes actually get to connect there. I think Clem got a little lazy / overzealous. But now all the other Morphing Banes are going to get killed, and Clem is going to bring this to a 3-0 victory. Our semi-finals here are going to be all about the Terran players in the end. Showtime put up a fight against Oliveira in the end, but unfortunately just not good enough. I would have loved to see a Showtime Clem best of 7. I think that would have been fascinating. In the end, Clem here is just a bit too good for Shin today, and as Shin turned it around from Monday to Tuesday against MaxPax, Clem turned it around from Monday to Wednesday against Shin. And that is going to be our result right there. Shin definitely one of those players that can absolutely take down seemingly anybody. But clearly it's got a lot of variability in it, right? There's a lot of volatility in those results, and those results are definitely not consistent. And today it was just all about Clem after, like I say, the other day was all about, well, not maybe all about Shin, but he played a very convincing series against Clem. He was very good. Clem was on the ropes throughout and could not restabilize, could not bring the game back into play or anything, so yeah, that was definitely a very different series here this time. Because that's going to be a 3-0, and that sets us up for our finals, which is going to be Clem versus Oliveira. It's going to be TVT now, guys. I know you're all going to leave the stream because it's Terran versus Terran. You hate mirror matchups. I think this is going to be fun, though, so I think you should stay and watch, even if it is TVT, okay? I really think so. We'll get this underway. I don't think there's any reason to delay. Check the seeding. Oliveira. Oh, Clem's got the best seeding, so. Alright, we'll get this set up in a second, guys. Clem vs. Oliveira. This will be best of 7 in the finals. We will wrap this up with a best of 7 because we only have 3 series today. So we'll get that ready to go. Dynasty going to be the veto from Clem. We'll see what the single veto of Oliveira turns out to be here in just a moment. Get that all sorted out for us. And yeah, thank you so much so far for tuning in, guys. The YouTube viewership, by the way, is just, I don't know what YouTube's decided. Like, YouTube's just decided that we just deserve views or something, because the YouTube viewership is ridiculous. The YouTube viewership is at like 450 right now to the 1200 on Twitch. Like, that's genuinely kind of nuts. So yeah, what's up, YouTube stream? Thank you so much for being here with us today and enjoying some games. Waiting for Oliveira's map veto, and then we'll have a map pick and we'll start getting this hosted. This should not be a long process to get into our grand finals. Best of 7 coming up. No funny 1-0 advantages either. This was just a straight single Elim bracket, so that's plain and simple. All we have to do here is move into the next round and go straight into it. There's no 1-0 lead. Both of these players are undefeated. Oliveira lost 1 match in the group stage. He did lose out to Shin, actually 2-1. Yeah, actually maybe would have been a cool matchup for the finals as well. I think we couldn't have really gone wrong with the finals today. I think anything would have been turned out to be pretty awesome. So, am I saying I have too few people on YouTube? Or unusually a lot? No, unusually a lot. I mean I mean the YouTube stream's just been popping off the last couple of days. And like I said, I don't know where that's coming from. Kind of crazy. So yeah, it's cool to see. Nice to see that. I mean, the YouTube channel is... If I tell you guys the YouTube channel is really being revitalized, I'm not joking. Like, the YouTube channel is like going through a resurrection at the moment, apparently. Like I said, yesterday we had 30 new subscriptions on the YouTube channel. And that's the most we've had in like almost 3 years. In like 2 years and 10 months. In one day. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, that's actually kind of a ridiculous start. Alright, first one going to be Alcini. Let me get this hosted up. Let people start joining. Because I started dual streaming. Yeah, but I dual streamed on YouTube a few months ago, and we never even got close to this sort of viewership. I look, I can understand it probably makes sense, but like, it's still pretty amazing to see the growth. I mean, we had like, I think our max viewership on YouTube before yesterday was like just over 300, and yesterday we peaked at like 508. Like, pretty crazy amount of growth, right? Like, that stuff does not come from nowhere, but yesterday kind of felt like it did. And then today's viewership was just super strong right off the bat. So yeah, I mean, it's just a little surprising, you know? And our last couple of maps back here, guys, we should be good to go. First time seeing my channel here on YouTube because of the live transmissions. Just became a subscriber. Hell yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I got better internet like a few months ago, so I was able to start dual streaming, and yeah, but that obviously helps. But yeah, obviously it's been kind of a weird year just in general for streaming because there's been a lot of events going on and not a lot of events I've been able to cover, so I've not been able to run my own events because it's just been a super hectic StarCraft calendar. Yeah, kind of crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I lost a caster somewhere. Who have I lost? Oh, found them. Alright, players are ready. Let's go into our grand finals, guys. Alright, let's kick this off. Best of 7, guys. Best of 7 grand final. Need a Gamba for the finals. Alright, going in on Alcini here. Just one moment. Got the loading screen through and we'll go do our big intro. Let's do it. Welcome to Alcini, game number 1 of the grand finals of the WardiTV October event. We've been playing this out over the last 3 weeks. It's been a ton of fun. We've had some great matches and it all concludes here in a TVT. In the top right, it's actually a very cool matchup. I'll say why, because these are the last 2 world champions of StarCraft 2. I was about to be like, I was about to do my intro. I was like, in the top right, the world champion. I was like, wait, he took the world championship from the other guy. So that's actually kind of a cool little storyline here as we get into this best of 7 grand final. In the top right, our current world champion, Team Liquid's Clem. And in the bottom left, our red Terran player is going to be Oliveira, currently representing Weibo Gaming still, if I'm not mistaken. And he was the former world champion. Obviously, he held that championship for quite a long time because we had an extended season. Our world championship kind of moved from February to August, so it was kind of a year and a half he held that for. So yeah, the last 2 world champs of StarCraft 2 here right now to play a TVT for us, and boy, have they played some great TVTs over time. I mean, the time that Oliveira won his world championship, that was an amazing, epic series against Clem in the group stages where Oliveira only just advanced by a single map score. He only advanced from that group because he came back in a game against Clem where he was down like 80 supply, made the turnaround in the TVT, turned the game on its head, flipped the series around in that moment, and because of that went on to win that Katowice, that world championship that year. I mean, people will forget that that was kind of the turning point for Oliveira, and what actually allowed him to go through over Clem was that 1 map win. And he was like so dead in that game as well. Super crazy series. It was on the B or the C stream at the time. And then, of course, you got Clem, who, you know, back then we always talk about, well, Clem's TVT is never very good. You know, Clem's TVT is very weak. And, you know, I think a lot of people would agree with that. But at the same time, Clem has been working on his TVT. And Clem's TVT does not look like Clem TVT anymore. Clem TVT looks absolutely terrifying lately. He's been completely on point since he went to Korea before the World Championship this year. He clearly worked on it a lot this year. And it has been looking very good for him lately. So excited to see if Clem can continue to find success in this matchup. He's been looking great against the Korean Terrans, Kira and Beyond lately, who we've been seeing him play a few matches against here and there. Let's see what this Grand Finals gives us. 1 proxied barracks to make it 2 Rax Reaper in total for Clem. Obviously not the most aggressive, because only one of the barracks is proxied, but allows you to put on some good pressure right from the start, as we are going to see that SCV going down in this command center. Going to be taking a few shots and a few nibbles as well. The Reapers will be continuing onto that CC just for a moment or two, trying to get as much done as we can, as we have a little grenade coming through. Hellion obviously helps out a lot here. Third Reaper going to show up. Does that make the difference for Clem? Can he keep on fighting here now? He is going to get the Hellion, runs away with the Reaper as well. Pretty fun micro across the board. Clem goes 2 for 2 on units. 1 Hellion and a Reaper for what? 2 of his Reapers. He's going to get the SCV on the low ground again, which is obviously going to delay the income, as it's going to stop that base from coming online for a little bit longer as well. And Clem, I would say, pretty happy with this start, especially when you only proxy one of those barracks. The second Reaper is not always showing up super quickly. As we're actually going to end up taking this fight as well, because his unit just spawned out of that barracks. That Reaper pops out, allows him to take an okay fight here, and Clem wins another trade early in this opening game of our Grand Final. Now his Hellion shows up, so he's going to get the Hellion of his opponent as well. And my goodness, have we got ourselves a little bit of a fight that continues to favor Clem so far. Clem just a little trades here. He's going to come to the front, will not delay the CC any further at least, but will get one more SCV. That's a win as well. And again, those are things which are just adding up against Oliveira already at the start of this series. So a little bit of pain in that regard, as we do have 2 Reapers. Hellion continue to gather up. Going to start firing away. CC is going to settle down back at home as the orbital command is on the way in. So you can see the timing of the CC is not super far behind for Clem, about 10 seconds or so. That's obviously very good considering he was so aggressive initially. And now all the other tech units and structures are coming online. Starting to see where we take this for the next step, as the Raven and the Cyclone continue to come through. The couple of Reapers going to come about as well. Going to go after some of those SCVs. Man, this just keeps on going. Clem continuing to find damage throughout these early stages. Another couple of grenades, SCVs, and Cyclones getting bopped about silly for the moment. Hellions are back on the low ground. Clem trying to come in with these again, trying to see if there's a little bit extra that we can maybe find and do. It's just been non-stop here on the side of Clem. And Oliveira, the damage has finally started to really rack up against him. At first it was like, okay, not great, but survivable, playable. And it's like, oh, okay, now maybe a little behind it. Now, 9 workers behind is a serious number at this stage of the game. Clem is also on a 3rd command center already. So triple CC with an already substantial advantage. You cannot tell me that this is not looking amazing for Clem. The only thing that will maybe go Oliveira's way is I was going to say maybe he gets the better army supply advantage, because Clem's focused a bit more on eco, but Clem's got the army supply lead as well, so tell me why Oliveira's going to find that army supply advantage from. He's got nothing in his favor right now. Slightly faster interference matrix upgrade, and that's not going to be something that I think comes into play a whole lot here, so this is looking like a Clemtastic game to open up this Grand Finals. Clem looking brilliant in the opening of the best of 7. Good news for us is this is a long way to go, right? Best of 7 TVT. Expect a lot of twists and turns. Expect a lot of different build orders, a lot of different opening interactions. TVT is actually one of the better... I mean, all the matches are very good in longer series, honestly, but I actually really love TVT in a longer series, because there are so many different ways to get aggressive. There are so many different harassing openings. And I think TVT deserves to have a good few chances at going into a longer game as well, because there's so many different ways in which the game can develop into a longer game and how the game can look in those kind of games too. So, love to see a longer TVT. I know not everyone's huge about the mirror matchups, but I actually do think TVT's... I'd rather cast a long TVT than I would a PvP or ZVZ, I think. Is, I guess, what I'm trying to get at here. As we do have... Unit's going to start moving out from Oliveira. He might just be at the point where he just says, you know what, I got to try and get across the map and do something. He's building a couple of Liberators now as well, so definitely just trying to take some control and just roll with it. Like I say, I can't really blame him for that concept, because he definitely knows this probably has not gone well for him, so he's probably knows that he's in need of doing something. So he's at least going to give it a go as he moves across the map. But down an army supply, down a lot of SCVs. That means that Clem can pull a lot of SCVs into this fight if necessary. He's going to just evacuate the 3rd for the moment. Clem also has Stim already, so Stim is going to enable him to take some very good fights. He just doesn't have a siege tank yet in position. Without a tank in position, this is essentially why he just decides to just full on back it up for the moment. Just run the heck out of there for now. Ravens keep on coming about. Just going to be having our SCVs pulling in toward those Cyclones. They're going to get a little bit of a cuddle. 10 SCVs have dropped, so Clem continues to push himself further ahead. And again, just means he can pull SCVs at home now to play this defense out. He can lose his entire natural mineral line, and he's going to be absolutely fine. Double Matrix goes down, so 2 of the tanks out of 3 from Oliveira are going to be out of commission. And that is going to be GG, because Clem just has too much. Dominating game 1 from Clem. As it starts with the Reaper Harass, it kept on going. And obviously from there, Clem was in a position to play the closeout. Oliveira tries an attack, does not work. And game number 1 goes the way of our world champion. Clem takes the 1-0 lead again, best of 7. Long way to go. We'll be heading into Oceanborn for map number 2 of this grand final here in just a couple of moments' time. And breathe. And breathe. Alright, let's get this set up. Just take a moment here, guys, just to actually do a little bit of sellout just during the finals. Oh my god, can you believe this streamer? I do want to mention, obviously, these WardiTV events are really designed to kind of fill the downtime in the StarCraft 2 tournament system. So if you guys are enjoying them and you want to see more and you want to have more StarCraft 2 to watch, do consider supporting, whether that's subscribing on Twitch by using your Prime sub, or subscribing regularly, or gifting a few subs. All of that helps us to run more of these events. You can donate, you can cheer. Over on the YouTube, you can become a YouTube member if you would like to. You can also super chat, etc. And across both platforms, check out the Patreon page. Anything you guys pledge on Patreon, patreon.com/WardiTV, 100% of that goes into tournament prize pools for events just like this one. So if you guys want to see bigger, better prize pools, more of these events happening, do check out the Patreon. Great way to support, because anything you pledge on Patreon will go directly to the players. It comes via me, but it will go to the players. That's a promise. So if you guys want to just support the StarCraft 2 tournament scene and more tournaments, do consider checking out the Patreon. Definitely a great way to go about things. I really appreciate it if you decide to do that. And yeah, just thank you so much in general for having made this event an absolute banger of a tournament so far. Just confirming, we are definitely going to be running a PTR tournament, so a new patch tournament next week. So that's going to be happening next week. And then the week after that, we're going to start up our WardiTV November event. I'm kind of thinking we're going to go a little bit bigger. I'm kind of thinking maybe something along the lines of like probably like $3,000, maybe $4,000, depending on what the funding's looking like. We've had a great stream the last month, so as always, if the stream is going well, we can afford to run bigger events. And yeah, the stream's been amazing lately, so probably looking at $3,000 for an event throughout November. Plus, all of our usual WardiTV Monday events are continuing. We've got WardiTV 2v2 coming up later this month, later in November as well, at some point as well. That's a $600 event, so we've got loads continuing to come your way. And our focus and priority is to keep on bringing you guys as much StarCraft 2 as possible. So, like I say, thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for being here and helping us to be able to do all of that, because, like I say, without you guys, we would not be able to do all of that. Cracks in the gas coming up. SCV's coming through first minute or so. Not super crazy. We had a little cancel on the side of Oliveira, who decided his gas timing was a little incorrect. I didn't fully catch that. He just suddenly cancelled a gas. So, yeah, was not sure what exactly happened there, but he did end up going double gas anyway. Like I said, I'm not sure if I fully caught that correctly, but that's pretty much the only excitement so far as we otherwise build up. Now, Clem single gas, but high ground CCs are going to go for the expansion in as safe a way as possible. Obviously, Oliveira double gas will be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more feisty on the map. So it's a change of pace from Clem from game 1 to 2. He obviously wasn't full 2 racks proxy, but still pretty aggressive opening. And now in game 2, going to be a little bit more of the defender here, and still taking that safe kind of approach to it as well by going into the high ground CC. Just means you have to deal with less harassment on the low ground, for example. So that's definitely something else to kind of keep in mind. Coming through, factory building, command center, and the refinery still coming online as well. We keep building, bringing all of that into play. TC on the way up, reactor coming through. I'm just going to be continuing to get settled here for a couple of moments. And the first hellion of Oliveira just going to come across. Oliveira not really looking to be super aggressive, it seems, which means that Clem may just get away with that slightly greedier opening. In which case, Clem will be smiling about that. There's definitely reason to be happy. Anytime you get away with the one gas expansion in the TVT, you just know you've got yourself either a little bit of an advantage or you're playing a very even game. So the fact that nothing really aggressive is going to come his way should be great for him. There's still a little bit of a tech advantage timing from Oliveira, but the deeper this goes, the less impactful that tech advantage typically becomes. So that will be fading in kind of value as the seconds tick on by, and Clem is going to have access to his own defensive tech structures anyway. Oliveira getting the Raven out. Clem actually getting a couple of Marines on the way too. There is going to be a Raven. Just, Oliveira not prioritizing the Marines yet. Just looking for differences in kind of what units they might start to build here, and just looking for some confirmations on that as we continue through. And in fact, beginning to unload, and you got a couple little lock-ons. Helene and the Cyclone getting chased away. A couple grenades going down as well, so a few shots continue by at the moment. Gonna have the order turret going to get picked away at the order Raven getting locked onto. Going to get chased as well. A couple of those SCVs still dropping off, so they're also going to end up being killed here. As the SCVs and the mules try and pull back into this. A couple of Marines are going to be taking some damage. The Cyclone's still taking some shots as well. He ends up with 5 SCVs killed, and now he's just in a monstrous position. He killed a Raven, the Cyclone, 2 Reapers, 2 Marines, a Heli. He lost some 5 units himself. Just a disgusting trade in favor of Clem, as Clem is getting into a very good position here for game number 2, huh? Oh, Oliveira, we're going to have to spice it up a little bit, turn this around, because right now Clem's walking all over you. The more defensive opening, the guy who doesn't really need to find damage finds a ton of damage, and Clem is going to start. I mean, if this continues, he just runs away with the series. I mean, this is looking to be a very fast second game, and that's a very quick way to establish a 2-0 lead, so problems abound for Oliveira right now. A couple of mules trying to drop in, the Raven's still continuing up, Interference Matrix coming in as well. Just insane micro from Clem. Is there a ping difference? They're playing all of these games on West, which is pretty much the fairest we can make it. I think Oliveira probably does have worse ping. It's not like Clem is playing with 0 ping and Oliveira is playing with like 140. It's like Clem's playing with 140 and Oliveira might be playing like 180 or so. I'm not sure how good the connection China to West is at the moment, but yeah, everything's playing West, so server is the same throughout the series. Clem leads by 16 workers, 7 army supply, fastest impact, faster third. Absolutely brutal game number 1 and 2 so far, honestly. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of hoping this series takes a serious turn, because at the moment we are on a fast track to absolute utter domination and never looking back around. Oliveira needs to figure something out here. I guess, I mean, 2-0, best of 7. It's not kind of all... It's not like the scoreline isn't doom and gloom. It's the way the games are going that are doom and gloom, right? And like I say, definitely need to kind of start shifting that a little bit as Oliveira, because if it continues like this, you're going to end up in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I think this game is, barring a miraculous turnaround from Oliveira and some incredible defense, maybe Clem overcommitted to some positions, this one feels over. Now, TVT is the matchup where defensive advantage can be a big deal, to the point where a lot of turnarounds and comebacks do happen where you don't expect them to. So I don't want to say that it's done, but obviously, I mean, the position is hugely advantageous for Clem. So this is going to have to be one of those kind of TVT miracle turnarounds if Oliveira is going to win this game. So for the moment, we can kind of assume likely a 2-0 lead for Clem. But let's see if he makes the correct moves to close the game out, because like I say, TVT can be very defender's advantage sometimes. Not sure if it's going to matter enough with so much supply in favor of Clem, so many units available for him and not for his opponent. Not sure there's going to be too much to go shouting about that, to be honest, in general. Marine tank coming over, 1-1 on combat shield. On the way up, we continue to settle down. Let's have ourselves a few more units moving about as well. Marine tank coming pressing straight on up. Just going to have ourselves the combat shields about halfway done. Siege tank on the way. A few Marines coming through. The Vikings will continue across as well. Ravens setting up also right now. Just going to have ourselves the interference matrix is going down. One Raven already going to get shot at. Just going to be seeing more matrices going down. Clem just has so many Marines. He doesn't have to really care about eating some tank fire. And the thing is, this is already amazing for Clem, right? 15 SCVs trade now for some army where Clem is ahead on workers anyway. Clem's like, okay, sure, we take that trade any day of the week. He does not mind at all. Marine tank continues to gather up as a couple tank shots going about. Cyclones coming through. Vikings going to land here. The Marines are going to go after those Vikings as well. And Oliveira is just going to say GG. He's going to tap out of this one. Clem is going to get the 2-0 lead, and it was as convincing as we were making it out to be. Clem with a dominant performance to start off this Terran versus Terran so far. So looking fantastic there. Oof. Comeback time from Oliveira, it would seem. As, like I say, he just needs to... It's one thing being down 0-2. It's best of 7. It's a longer series, right? It's not the end of the world. There's another thing being down 0-2, and it's like you've yet to make a good play in the series, right? Like, you've yet to do anything that was really correct, impressive, or better than your opponent. And I think that is the level of domination Clem has showed us in the first couple of games. His micro has been excellent, has been absolutely stellar. I do not see Oliveira playing the way he played games 1 and 2, winning this series. Now, the beauty of StarCraft is from games 1 to 2 to 3 and 4, players can look very different. You know, maps can change. Build orders can put you in a different position. A bit of momentum on your side can go a huge way to helping out as well, right? So this is by no means done and dusted and all wrapped up or anything like that. It's just, it is time now to kind of get something whirring here from Oliveira. Because going down 0-3 against Clem, that is not the kind of position you want to be in. 0-2, sure. 0-3, that's miserable. Definitely time to start turning this around if at all possible. Has not joined the lobby. Let's try and get him in here as he takes a moment or two before being ready to go. So yeah, we kind of do need Clem to start this game off, guys, so get that set up. And thanks for joining us so far for the WardiTV October. I guess I haven't mentioned this, but I am going to be away the next couple of days. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned this during the ads that are playing, but whatever. I am away the next couple of days, guys. I might be here tomorrow streaming non-StarCraft. I don't have any StarCraft to cast, and I have a certain limit to kind of when I have to be done tomorrow, so I'm kind of thinking I might just come on and do some like chill non-StarCraft streaming. Maybe not. That may just not be the case in the end, but yeah, that's my kind of plan right now. Yo, Dustin's Place, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. So yeah, maybe tomorrow some non-StarCraft, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm actually at a UK StarCraft 2 event, so I'm just not going to be live. But Monday onwards, like I say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. No, not the Thursday, I don't think, but the other days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Next week, we will be live with games. So plenty of games coming up next week. I'm just going to be gone over this weekend. Just a couple weekends in a row, I've had some stuff going on, so apologies for that. But like I say, back on the grind 5 days next week as well. As we get into game number 3 of this TVT. In the bottom left corner, down in the bottom left, but up in the scoreboard. It is our blue Terran player from Team Liquid. It is Clem, and a 2-0 lead has never looked better so far. That's in the top right, our red Terran, Oliveira. Please, Ollie, let's turn this around. Let's do this. Let's start switching this up. Let's start getting a little bit of a better start in these games. Let's show us just... And, you know, I only asked for it because I know Oliveira can play great TVT. I know he can be extremely competitive in this matchup. We saw it against Gumiho yesterday in the quarterfinals. We know that he can play great Terran versus Terran. I just want to see a little bit of that. It would be a real shame to see this series just be a complete wash because I know Clem's TVT has gotten better. I don't think it's gotten better to the point where he should be, like, washing over Oliveira and Oliveira never gets a chance to play the game, you know? So, yeah. Let's do it, Oliveira. Let's bring it back a little bit here. I'm believing. I'm believing. Rex gas, double gas from both as well, so we actually are going to be seeing a game where both of them kind of have mirrored build orders for the first time. So we saw the proxy racks. Game 1 from Clem ended up going 2 racks versus 1 racks. Game 2, Clem went for the faster expansion, where Oliveira went for the double gas. So that's going to really be the first time where we're really seeing kind of matched builds. So that's pretty cool. It's such a challenge because I feel like Oliveira has to completely nail the early game micro to compete with Clem as well, right? Because Clem's micro is so good, and in a meta right now in TVT where the couple of cyclones and those units harassing are such a big factor, micro is the micro potential in those is massive. So if you get out microed, you really can just kind of start losing games. So something to think on that. Factor on the way up from both. Obviously, the build orders will stay mirrored for the moment. No reason to get too mixed up just yet. Command side dropping down. Just going to be seeing the Reapers continue to come about also. The Reapers join up together. Just going to have our Cyclone continue to produce. Just going to have our Starport building on the side of Clem as well. The Hellion also coming out currently. Troopers and Hellion move about. Cyclone continues to come in for a little bit. We continue to get this going. Starport in production on both sides. TC just building up again over on that natural, so continue to get that on the go, trying to get this ready. And Cyclone and Reapers joining together. We just have our CC building on the side of Clem in the natural for a moment or two. Peaceful game so far, but the Cyclones are coming up, and like I say, that's where the Medevac micro is going to start to become absolutely huge, so expect that to become a big factor very shortly, pretty much, I would imagine. Medevac pops, Reapers and the Hellion coming over. I'm just going to see the Cyclone and the Marines coming about as well. What's coming about? Just going to see the Cyclone continue to chase the Medevac and locked onto, getting pushed away a little bit as well. It's just getting chased out of there for the moment. You have the Cyclone and a couple of Marines going after those Reapers. As one Reaper goes down, next Reaper being chased. Medevac gets into the main. Cyclone's still going to be trading out with one another there as we have now that Medevac getting pushed out of this. Raven coming up as well. Continue to get everything on the go for the moment. Raven, Matrix, Siege Tank as well. All coming through. TV coming about, just trying to see a little bit of what else is going on. And we're having a more passive game, isn't it? It feels like we've been action-packed in the early game, and now we have something that is going to be a little bit more chill right here. Someone's asking to check the APM. The average is a little bit higher from Oliveira, about 20 higher for Ollie than it is for Clem. So there you go. Ravens keep coming through. Matrix already done for Clem, building still from Oliveira. Tank production has started on both sides. The Medevac and the Cyclones would love to come through and get some damage done to try and be the deal, the deal breaker in this game so far and the difference maker. But the defense is pretty good and there's not really an opening there, which is probably why Clem is also not finding damage, because I imagine Oliveira's defense is also going to be looking pretty tight across the map and not really giving many opportunities for damage to be dealt in those ways. Medevac's go moving around. Another little bit of setting up being done as well. Cyclones lock on. Raven taking some shots. Medevac goes down. Marines are going to be able to get those Cyclones. Clem ends up losing his units. Okay, Oliveira. We're talking. Cleaned up some units. Nice, good start. Unfortunately, the deeper this game goes, the Medevac and the couple of Cyclones probably aren't going to matter too much, but I still think that's pretty neat to see. As the other units come back over. Orbital Command coming out, just going to move over there. A couple of tanks going to get siege. Marines are going to gather up as well. 1-1 upgrades and that sim pack continue to come by right now. Marine the Cyclone is going to come through. Marine is going to get cleaned out. Just going to pick that off. Next Hellion going down as well, as Oliveira is continuing to be the one because he's got the Cyclone still up, controlling a little bit of the map and able to get some damage done. So finding some value there so far. Pretty reasonable. Cyclone's going to come through and going to grab a Marine as well. It's just going to be another nice little pick off. Yeah, nice to see Oliveira obviously able to be out on the map, finding some damage, finding some value throughout this. Put himself in some decent positions as the other units patrol around a little bit. You see, just going to be having ourselves a bit of action on the go. Thanks, still chilling out. Just going to be seeing the 2-2 upgrades coming in. That's going to be a little bit faster from Oliveira as well. So upgrade-wise, he's got a slight lead too. The 1-1 finishing up from Clem in the next few moments. Factory finishing shortly. Again, the 2-2 still on the way out. Continue to bring that in. Just gonna have our siege tank coming up. The starport's building. There's some tanks pressing forward. Just gonna have a few tanks on that high ground. Gonna try and get set up as well. And try and get involved a little bit. See the few tanks taking some shots there. We're gonna get a couple of kills as we continue to move on through. Matrixes go down. The tanks are going to get hit by the Matrixes. We are going to press forwards, and both tanks go down already. Kind of a big deal as you just see the units continue to come about in total. It's just going to be a messy fight, but it's going to be good enough, I think, for Oliveira, who, again, just took little advantages early. And with little advantages early, puts himself in a position to go, and go he does. And he's got himself a game on the scoreboard. Nice. Oliveira fighting back. Just a little bit too powerful there, just little things. One that picked off that Medevac and the Cyclones, and from there was actually able to really just control the game somehow. Didn't think that was going to be that much of an issue, but yeah, Clem really never took control back, and Oliveira got position. Position is so powerful in TVT. It does so much for you as we go to Ghost River for the next map here. Oliveira has indeed fought back for at least one map, which means we're not going to see a sweep in our Grand Finals. I am so thankful for that. I'm so happy our Grand Finals is not going to be a complete disaster. This tournament was really, really good. I really came into today kind of somewhat expecting that maybe we'd see some sweeps, and obviously the Clem Shin series was a little bit of a washover, so I'm just very happy that this final at least is going to go to 5 games. Very happy about that because, like I say, I was a little bit concerned. I think fairly so, you know. Not impossible that 4 sweep happens, especially the way those first matches started out. Definitely an impossible. Missing the caster, who doesn't want to be in the lobby. Indeed. Hello, Jeff. Go, go. Kick off into game number 4 of this series. Get this ready to rumble. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for joining us. Let's get into some more action. In the top left corner, in the lead of the series, still 2-1, but hey, it's only 2-1 now, so finally looking a little bit painful there in that last one. That is going to be Clem in the top left corner of the map. In the top right, our blue Terran is going to be Oliveira. Couple of racks coming through. Just going to be seen out. It's moving about. Getting settled. Just going to be seeing where you go. It is going to be double racks on the side of Clem again. So we're going to go to what I oftentimes call in TVT one of Clem's comfort builds. This idea of a double racks Reaper opening kind of lets him kind of play into a micro-based game, which I think is something Clem is always very appreciative of. Something he really takes advantage of a lot of the time. Reaper's building, factory coming in. You got a setup going for a couple of moments here. Let's see what these Reapers lead us to. See if Clem can get some damage done. Obviously, one of those barracks is proxied again, so kind of aggressive for sure. Just try and jump in. They actually get denied. Good defense from Oliveira at first. The good thing for this from Clem is that, yes, he builds a second racks proxy, so it's a little committed, but it's not super committed to the point where it's like, oh, if you do nothing with this, it's like you're dead. Like, it'll be a slight disadvantage. Not to... Yeah, you kind of just may as well leave the game already, right? So has the 4 Reapers and still can't find openings with them. Gonna try and find one now as he gets the SCV on the low ground, so we'll delay that command center. That's a great example of just how you can be a little bit annoying early on. Reapers continue to go back and forth. A couple more grenades coming down here. Helleen's getting chased back as well, so continue to go around with that for the moment. More shots continue to come through. For more hits coming about. Reapers and Soul coming back over as well. Helleen's getting chased, and this fight, I think, is going to go the way of Clem, who's going to get the last Reaper, and now he's 9 army supply to 4. Oliveira did just pop out a Cyclone, which I think is going to be the saving grace. Otherwise, he might have been in some issues. I mean, these units are fairly low HP as well, so maybe wouldn't have been too much of a problem. Hellions keep fighting a couple of those Marines. Actually going to be able to get one Hellion there. Now the Cyclone's chasing the Reapers down as well. So continue to form a little bit of a push back. Seeing the Cyclones on the way, the Medevac and the Marines coming through as well. Raven, Interference Matrix coming by. Cyclone reducing. Couple extra Marines coming about as well, so we keep that all go. And here we have Oliveira moving into the natural of Clem, so... Oh, great grenade initially from Clem. Oliveira does lift the Cyclone away, realizing that that's something he's just going to have to make a move on to keep alive there. Was a necessary move. As the Marine's going to get some damage onto the medevac. Cyclone needs to be careful as well. Obviously, Marines can get some damage done quickly, so something to be cautious of in that regard. So we're seeing the medevac still boosting back away over to the other side. I'm just going to keep his own Cyclones at home as well, chasing this, so just happy to play the defensive position, not in a rush to kind of get across to the other side of the map himself, it would seem. Medevac's still just holding out in that corner, trying to keep an eye on things. Note of what's going on. Just going to be seeing the Raven going to be there as well. Medevac still moving about a little bit. Going to start getting a few shots off, which is going to be quite nice. So some damage being dealt. We are going to be seeing the Medevac going down. So there you go. The Viking forces the issue. And Clem will finally get the cleanup on that. So Oliveira loses the Medevac. I mean, like I said, it's kept Clem at home a long time, so it's not like it's done nothing at all. It is still one unit down from what you had originally, so still maybe a slight problem. Oh, flag spike. Who's crashing? Is it me? Is it someone else? Oof, we'll never find out. Check my ping quickly. It's not me. And Vikings tank, the Marine and Stim continuing up as well. Both players are going to get Stim. Clem will be on Stim a little sooner here. And maybe something fairly worth noting a little bit. As the Vikings continue to gather in for the moment. Just have ourselves the Stim continuing up, tank continuing in. Bio tank, Raven, continue to come across. Just gonna see Clem gonna be the one taking position. That third base just lifts up immediately and says, nah, I don't really want to be involved in this. That's an issue, because obviously now your third gets pushed away. Clem's mining his third, so you gotta do something about this, right? Cyclone drops into the main base, gonna get a kill. Two Cyclones actually gonna lock onto the siege tank in the main base. Oliveira's gotta be really careful. He's gonna lose a siege tank in the main. And Clem is just finding himself already some pretty darn good damage across the board here. So a good start. As you see the Cyclone firing away, a couple more shots coming about. And Marine Tank Raven joined together. Clem is sitting 120 to 106 supply. And backs away from the position so Oliveira can have his third, but like I say, Clem oftentimes just knows when he's already taken enough of an advantage to kind of play with here, and I would say that's definitely a big part of what's happened so far. Recognizing the lead that he's got himself and just kind of moving on from it right now. Marine on Marine action, going to trade out for a couple of moments. Tank continues across, just going to attack in for a little bit as well, try to see what's going on. Marines in production as well. Factory's about halfway done. Command center is just now about to finish. DC going to complete again. Tanks and all the rest of this continue to come through. Tanks pull back to the left-hand side. A lot of units in the bottom right as well. Going to be moving across as we speak. Again, the upgrades continuing. I'm a little bit behind on his armor upgrade, but... Sorry, Oliveira a little bit behind on his armor upgrade. Clem on his way to 2-2, so a little difference there. Maybe favors Clem at certain moments of this game. One thing to think of when the fights happen, just to double check on. As Clem tries to push up, he's going to be moving on to that set of rocks immediately, so just going to jump straight onto those. Gonna try and knock them down, but the tanks behind are going to kind of say no. Clem will have the supply lead from earlier still, so they're still working off of that. The tank pulls back over. The Ravens are still around as well, trying to figure out what they would like to do. More shots coming around. Marines getting healed up. Marine tank, Raven Viking heading to the top side. We've seen the 2-2 coming about as well. Big shots coming around as we are going to be seeing Marines able to start firing up. Oliveira going to be in trouble because that fourth base is going to be separated from everything else, and Clem just moving straight in position. He's going to get mass matrix here though. Can he get back the other direction? Drops an anti-armor missile to try and mean that and make sure his Marines win this fight. I think he is winning this fight. His tanks are going to come out of Matrix, and if he comes out of Matrix, he's going to have a lot of units left over. Scan to hit the tanks of his opponent still. And he has got a few Marines left. Oliveira had more in the skies initially, but yeah, Clem's going to keep his tanks alive, and obviously will maintain position here too, which is definitely a factor to consider. Positioning is a big part of TVT, and in fact, Clem's basically still on top of this base. Should be, like I say, a pretty big deal. Vikings go after the medevac. It's going to be seeing 3-2 upgrades coming up, 3-3 on the way from Clem. This is one of those moments where that armor upgrade is just not there yet for Oliveira, so it actually does come into play a little bit. Actually going to be a factor in the end of those tanks still hitting away at that CC. That base will go down. So fourth base denied, and Clem looking to take a 3-1 lead in this series because his position right now in Game 4 is looking very, very good. He is looking fantastic, honestly, as a couple more libs we'll see jump though, and that is the one thing Oliveira has. A little bit of an air control advantage, and he will try and push that to the maximum. He clearly knows that he's got to do something with this right now, so we'll absolutely just be trying to make something of the scenario. Can't blame him for that, and I think it's the right move. Clem, though, is going to run himself in. That's a lot of Marines. The Liberators are not going to matter in this fight, and Oliveira can see it, so the one thing he's trying to play in his favor is just not going to work out, and that is going to be GG's. Clem takes a 3-1 lead and is a map away from being your WardiTV October champ. Just needs one more map. One more. That's all it's going to take for Clem to win this tournament. So he's going to be on site Delta for map 5, where Clem can potentially close this out and win it out. Let's see what he can do as we load into this. The lobby link down. I'd like to start this off. Go says Oliveira. Waiting for Clem to say go as well. Ready. Perfect. We're set. We're good. Let's do this. GLHF. Let's jump into game number 5. Just gonna mute up 1 second while we load in game, guys. Be right back. Alrighty, Site Delta it is, as we get ourselves into final chance territory for the player in the top left corner, the Red Terran. This is from Weibo Gaming. It is Oliveira. Taking on in the bottom right hand side, the Blue Terran player from Team Liquid. This is Clem. Potentially last game of the day and last game of the tournament, guys, once again. Just in case it is our last, thank you so much for joining us and being here throughout this event. It's been a great one. Definitely excited when more events next week and the month after as well. So just thank you one more time in that regard. I'm just going back to the double racks. I mean, honestly, he's just microing well enough that, like, why not? If you can control well enough to give yourself an advantage with this 9 times out of 10, then why not go for it unless your opponent finds a way to hard counter you? 2 racks in base would be a counter for Oliveira. This point probably doesn't expect Clem to go for it again, though. Was anyone ever so dominant as Clem is right now? In online events? Here's the thing, like, obviously we're kind of in a period where Clem's dominating online events, and don't get me wrong, he obviously won eSports World Cup. I don't think it's really fair to say he's dominating offline events because he won 1 tournament. So, online events, Pure had a really good streak in online events. Zest had a pretty crazy streak at one point as well. Pure is the one that really sticks out in mind. He really had like an insane online tournament win streak for a while. So, but yeah, I mean, be interesting to see is, oh, 2 Reapers for a Reaper and a Marine, not exactly ideal for Clem. We'll see kind of at Home Story Cup maybe if Clem can be as dominant there as well. Well, obviously losing the 2 Reapers to start definitely slows down your momentum and slows down ability to keep on being aggressive, so that should slow Clem a little bit in this and give Oliveira a bit of a chance. Finally just an opportunity for Oliveira to kind of deal with these Reapers early. And not to have to keep on worrying about them. But said Clem is still building the units, so he's just gonna hang back and maybe come in as a bit of a surprise fight, like surprise, but you didn't think I'd keep making these units after the first 2 went down. Oliveira's issue here might be that he's in the medevac when he notices this, as this Cyclone's on its own. Oh, no, Oliveira. It's just perfect timing from Clem. He's in the medevac, so that 1 Cyclone on its own is not going to be able to do anything. It gets caught, and obviously this is a moment where Clem goes across, you know, Oliveira is coming across the map, but Clem's going to do serious damage. Clem will have to defend against the Cyclone and the few Marines, but he's got a Cyclone of his own, Viking building. And he's just doing so much damage here. Tank about to spawn, but we are talking about 12 SCVs already going down. Yeah, this tank is going to pop out and probably will create a defense, but kind of crazy. Yeah, as you see, the defense here. Sorry, that wasn't a Cyclone. That was actually a siege tank. Oliveira just says, GG, this was not good enough. And he is going to tap out to give Clem the 4-1 victory in this best of 7. Just like that. GG's. And we are done. Clem, just an absolutely brutal performance in the finals. Damn. I said it earlier. I would have really liked to see the Clem Showtime final. Alright. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Clem just really outplaying Oliveira in this grand final, as Clem will take down WardiTV October and walk away with the $400 first place prize. Like I said, next week we're going to be aiming to do a patch tournament, so probably just a little like 10-player event over a few different days. Get a bunch of games on the new patch. And then the week after that, we'll be doing probably a bigger event, starting off a bigger WardiTV tournament series. So we'll kick that off in November. Again, I'm not here for the next few days in terms of StarCraft 2. I'll be back again on... Yeah, I'll be back again on Monday with StarCraft 2 for the WardiTV Mondays. So, yeah. Perfect. If you guys did enjoy, obviously a couple of things just mentioned once again, support the tournaments directly on Patreon, patreon.com/WardiTV. If you're on the YouTube channel right now, like the video. More people will still find it once it goes offline. Subscribe to the channel as well. Massive to get the subscriber count going up a little bit on the YouTube as well. So thank you so much for making that happen lately. And if you're on Twitch, follow the channel as well. Obviously, all the usual stuff. You can subscribe with Prime and all that sort of thing. Lex470 came in with this 30-month resub on the Prime just doing that last match. So thank you so much for that as well. Not really much else to add on, guys. That's going to be it for us today in terms of StarCraft 2 and on the stream. Maybe live with some non-StarCraft tomorrow. But, yeah. I'm not 100% sure when. But like I say, StarCraft will be back on Monday on YouTube and on Twitch, and that's just because I'm at a UK StarCraft 2 event this weekend. I'm going to Epic LAN. So, yeah. Clem takes it 4-1 in this grand final. I'm going to set of ads on the outro on YouTube and Twitch. Once the ads are done on YouTube, the stream will just be going offline. On Twitch, I'll be raiding somebody. I don't know who that is just yet. I will have to check. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It's a pleasure to be with you all today. Thank you so much for the great day. I'll see you guys again next time for more StarCraft 2. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. You guys have a great one. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching.